open the stream over here. I just restarted my computer on this side, and everything got screwed up. Ta-da! We're back! Hooray! It's only been a week. When last we left, our delightful dreamers, they they had escaped the dark forest of Gloon and Twinkletown and the Frizzy Knocks, and had come to the city of Zakarion. I'm going to send you guys a picture.
We may actually be dumbfounded dreamers right now. Like,
Dumbfounded. This is not what Zakarion actually looks like, but this is kind of representative of, to give you kind of a feel of it. Um, Abalone and Mother of Pearl walls are ahead of you. Bright, shiny fields all around with wheat and corn and all kinds of wonderful crops. Looks like they're about going to be harvested soon. You can see small farms. You've passed small farms, dotting the road here and there. Small towns, even a little ways out. Oh, look at your traits. Look at your ideology,
yeah,
beliefs. Refamiliarize yourself with your mindset. Um, as you have
that kind
come,
of look. It kind of looks like a city in Austria. The picture you showed.
well, this is if this would be from the sea, seeing it from the sea. I found this
I
picture and it's
gotcha.
all white. I like that it's all kind of white and kind of shiny. I'll give you a
I don't know
picture.
why it reminds me of like Austria or something. Just that's the impression I get.
All
It
right,
looks European. It looks European to
it
me. So,
probably is. I don't remember
Actually,
where I got this
no,
actually.
yeah, I can kind of see that, Aaron.
So
but as someone that's never been there.
it's the 55th
Anyway,
day since you've come to the Dreamlands. It's been almost 2 months you've been here. Um, you're on the caravan with Odalon the Beef is the caravan master. There are 5 bandits tied in like a line, walking behind one of the wagons, as well as Valrus in the back. They're all tied. Their hands are tied, and then they're tied to each other. They've been well treated along the trip, and I'm gonna go ahead and send you the map of the city if I can find it. I think it's this one. Let me double check. Yeah, it's this one. So that will be in gaming text. Your best bet is to click on it and then open it in. What is it going to say if you click on it? Open in browser because that'll give you a much bigger picture. You can also, if you want to do a save as, if you want to keep it, it's up to you. It's fine. It's going to be here for you. It is a large city. The river's on your right. North is actually kind of to the right side of the picture because this is kind of a
Okay, so
3D esque.
north is the river.
No, that's west.
that's the
West is the river.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So west is the river. North to the right is to the right and goes up the coast. To the east is sea. To the south, again, there are some smaller roads. Um, Farmlands surround you for the most part.
so
You got.
yeah.
Go
North
ahead.
is the top right hand corner,
Yes,
essentially.
that's
Yeah. All
correct.
right.
In that direction, yes.
Yeah.
The city kind of rises to your left, to the north. It gets higher the further that you go left. You can see what looks like a great
Oh
palace
yeah.
of some kind on that side of the city as you're approaching it. Um, y'all are on the road. Let me grab my copy of this
I was gonna
map.
say, which road are we coming in on?
You're coming in on that road to the west that follows the river.
Okay.
On this picture, it'll be on the right side of the river. Um,
Okay. Like where the fields and stuff are at.
yes, and
So
where it
like
All right.
splits.
towards the joust arena.
Yes, but you guys are on the southern one, and
Okay.
actually, Odalon and the caravan turn at those buildings that are just south or just west of the actual walls and the gates there. And there's a
Okay.
really big area. It looks like a marketplace is there. Um, um, yeah, there are stalls in there. It also you're it looks like he's taking the caravan into this big market. And there's several buildings as well as a bunch of like stalls that are set up and all this other stuff. There are also barns. Um, all kinds of animals are in here. A lot of geese. You see a lot of geese, um, and that kind of thing. And this looks like a farmer's market to you as you
Is
pull
that
in.
B2?
Say again.
B2?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's what it says on there. Yeah, B2 is where you guys are at. I gave you this map because not all of these numbers are correct. Most of them are, like 99%, but one or two are duplicated. So, but B2 is where you're at. It's going to be hard to see, Aaron. It's
Oh yeah.
like black against the black. So
Well, when
I made myself this one with all
I
the
did
little
what you
things.
said, open in browser, and I could even zoom in even further. And
Yes,
now I see B2.
it is a big map. I wanted to give you guys potentially a big map. Um,
I'm gonna steal it.
yeah, so yeah, it's a great map. I don't know where I got it. I don't own it. It's not mine, obviously.
Yeah.
But and you could do a Google search and figure out who it belongs to. But I just thought it was a really nice map,
Hmm.
and so I wanted to use it. And I thought this is perfect for Zakarion. The houses look white.
Yep.
It's a big city, and so yeah, like I said, there's a wide river going down through between the walls. Um, Odalon, one of the Teamsters comes to you and lets you know that the caravan is stopping here. This is where caravan unloads and does its business.
Okay.
But you were just traveling with the caravan, and the gentleman says the Teamster tells you you're free to enter the city. Go wherever you want. You don't have to continue accompanying us. We're here.
Um,
And you know this guy. He's one of the regular Teamsters. You've talked to him many
I
times.
will ask him. What's gonna become of the children? Is someone
Oh
in
yeah,
the?
that's what. Oh,
It's
he said. Oh, I thought you were in charge of them. Is exactly what he says to you.
okay.
And you see Fern and Dolphin are looking around at this. This market is good size. It's bigger than anything in Twinkletown. They're just kind of looking around in awe at there's so many people in this market, mostly farmers. A lot of people. There's geese all over the place. You don't know what that's about. Oysters with them right now because Fern
Okay.
and Dolphin have kind of been like always around the dog, like sleeping with the dog, playing with the dog,
You know
everything.
what though? At this point, we're out of the forest, so I don't even like that dog did its job for us for the most part. Um, but like everything that these kids have went through, if they want to keep the dog, they can keep the
Okay.
dog. Like,
Well, the Teamster obviously thinks that you're going to do something with the kids.
yeah.
So
So
he says,
yeah.
I don't know. He's just kind of looking
Okay.
over. He looks uncomfortable, you know.
Yeah. So like, oh, I just pretty much go, all right, all right. Like, I don't really want to dump them on this caravan if they don't want them, but like at the same time, it's like I don't know what to do with them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
So you're in
hey,
this
can
area.
we
You
just
can see the city gates are open.
can we just leave them with Isabella right now and have her deal with it and say that she's doing something
I
with
don't think
them?
Isabella's character likes kids, to be quite honest, particularly.
We don't know that.
No, I think you guys should deal with it. In one way or another. If you
I
can't
know.
figure out anything, yes, we can dump them on Isabella for now. But Isabella is probably going to go look for a doctor. That's her thing.
Oh yeah,
She
yeah.
still has this. You know how bruises turn yellow?
Yeah, oh
This
yeah.
one's turned yellow. It's not as swollen, but it's still swollen a week later.
It's
She
yellow,
is in.
nice and purple on the
Oh,
outside of it.
it doesn't look good, and she does not feel well. She is still suffering from a major wound, and it's not been a good time for her in Twinkletown. Don't break your arm, Sean.
I all of a sudden just like pink.
Welcome to middle age.
Hey, I'm about to be 42.
Woo! So, what do y'all want to do? There's tons of farmers. This is a big market.
Um,
You guys have all your stuff.
it
You
was
you
the
got
beef was the leader of the caravan.
yes, Odal on the beef. He's already shouting orders to the Teamsters to get to start moving some of the things off that are supposed to come here. Apparently,
Okay.
you see him talking to a couple of the sellswords, and he's pointing to the thieves or to the bandits, and a couple of those men head over towards the bandits.
Yeah,
Um,
that's something else I wanted to ask about then too. Like, what's going to become of the bandits as well?
mhm.
Yeah.
Who you asking?
Well, I wanted to go
Uh,
to the beef
This
when we
Teamster's already
basically,
left you.
yeah, when
all
we
right.
basically learned that we've got to deal with the kids. I would ask Odilon if um, is there a I hate to an orphanage in town?
Folks don't love him. He does not know. Odilon tells you he doesn't know. He does note that he'll have his men turn the prisoners over to the local authorities, and we'll give them your names. So somebody will probably come to talk to you about them because you know
Okay.
what happened in that town. Odalon does not, but he'll handle
Actually, yeah. You know
taking
what?
care of that shit.
It
But you guys are
might
probably going to have to come testify or at least like give a statement at some point.
it
I
might
already got an
actually
idea now what to do with the kids. All right.
Oh,
it might actually be good for us to
good.
go with the prisoners, and when they
He's
get
fine with
handed
that.
over, hand over, ask where we could take the kids.
Well, I mean, yeah. When uh when uh when someone comes to talk to us, we can reference the kids. The kids are more um
Oh, yeah, they're going to be witnesses too.
they're bigger witnesses than
Yes.
Yeah,
us.
Yeah. You
we
guys will probably
we
have to.
only saw the after
Yeah.
effect.
Okay. Um, Odalon says, "Yeah. Just give my men a few minutes. They've left the most. They've left the prisoners tied together. It looks like they're taking them behind a building, probably to relieve themselves before they go into town, one at a time. A man's going with them. The prisoners keep are still tied up. They're pulling them loose from the line and they're taking them back. And then after a few minutes, they come back out. And this
Okay.
happens. One guy with a sword on his belt and wearing some armor, and the prisoners have no armor, no weapons now, obviously. Um, and so this is probably going to take maybe 10, 15 minutes for them to let the prisoners at least. You guys have been walking all day, so or it's noonish, so you've been walking all morning, so they're pretty beat. They're giving some of the prisoners water at this juncture, and a little bit of food.
None of the prisoners try to like make a break for it.
No, there were about a half dozen guards, sellswords, and three of them right now are dealing with this. Two of them are there with the prisoners, and one more is taking them back behind a building somewhere to whatever personal time. Um, yeah. So do you guys want to do anything? Odalon tells the sellswords that that the two of you are going with them when they take the prisoners into the city. But if you wanted to do anything in the next little while before they're actually going to take them, that's up to you. If you don't, if you just want to hang out, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hang out and we can wait for them.
Okay. And you're taking the kids with you when you go into the city
Yeah,
as
we'll
well?
take the
Okay.
kids with us when we go with. Yeah.
There's a bit of a delay. Um, you notice so after a while the somebody hasn't come back. One of the other cell swords goes behind the building, and you hear a scream like "ah!" from back there.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll run back to check things
okay.
out.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, are you gonna
I got
go,
a feeling
Sean? You gonna stay with the kids? What's the
I'm gonna
plan?
go to.
Oh, you can. Okay, okay. You guys both head back that way. Um, you get there first, Fernando. There's a sellsword standing there, looking at something on the ground. It takes you a few minutes, not minutes, sorry. It takes you a moment
Seconds.
to realize what you're looking at.
I'm
And
looking at a pile of skin without any bones in it.
very good, Aaron. Yes, it's not skin. It's this guy. It's just like he just kind of, and you can see the
Melted.
head sticking up out of this pile of flesh. Um, uh, hold on. There we go.
Don't come back here, Hutton.
Whoa! Gets a coin. That was a nice move there. Um, yeah. Let's see.
I'm
I need
thinking
a
of like
sanity check from
I say
Fernando when he sees this.
I know what's going on. Oh no!
Oh
I
no!
rolled 100.
You rolled 100. That's max sanity loss. 6 points of sanity. Let me
Oh
roll for the
man.
sellsword. The sellsword failed as well, and lost 6 as well. That's awesome.
Damn.
So, the sellsword is just frozen in fear, terror. I'm not gonna bother to roll for that for him. Yeah, it's a man. So one thing I forgot. Oh, I need you to make an intelligence check. You want to fail.
I was gonna say I've already
Sorry,
read my notes.
I
I
was
was
on, I
waiting
was
for
just gonna
that.
jump to temporary insanity, and I can't do
I
that.
I made a regular
Regular
success.
success. Okay. So, oh yeah, here we go. All right, let's grab
Fernando just
this.
takes off running,
Maybe.
and no one will ever see him
Okay,
again.
Hutton, you heard him yell, "Hutton, don't come back here!" Um, and then we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna pick what's more interesting. I'm gonna roll the this for this effect and see what will be more fun. Okay, so it's that or a nightmare effect. Ah, I don't like that one, so we're not using that one. Okay. Physical hysterics or emotional outburst. You're incapacitating from laughing, crying, screaming, or something else for a certain amount of time. How does Fernando?
Oh,
How do you want Fernando to react to this? You can have your choice. Um,
he just goes deadpan then, right?
uh,
Would that work?
no, it would have to be physical hysterics or an emotional outburst. Um,
Oh,
I mean, you could just run around in circles, waving your hands in the air if you want, like ah, or
actually,
screaming, crying, laughing,
yeah,
um,
I've done
anything you
laughing in the past. I've done laughing in the
yes,
past, so um, yeah, no, let's. He just starts flipping out. He starts speaking in Spanish.
really
Um,
loud, like babbling, like
yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah.
So that's
Oh, Dios mío! Oh, Dios mío!
and he's just throwing his hands in the air
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's a child or something. Hutton. So you heard Hutton, don't come back here, and then you hear a bunch of Spanish. Do you speak Spanish at all?
No.
You can make a roll. It's 1%. I believe every language starts at
Let's
1%.
let's go for it. About 85 too much.
Okay, so you don't understand what he's saying. You saw another man had gone back there. That was the man who. That's right. You guys. That guy went back there and started, and then he yelled. He screamed. Oh yeah. What was
Yeah,
his? What was his thing?
He's speaking so
Um.
fast right now.
Okay. Yeah. Even if you understood Spanish, you don't know if you could. You haven't rounded the corner of the back of this building, where eventually they were probably pissing against a wall or something. How do
Okay.
you want to go back there?
He's gonna stop right at the corner
Okay.
and just Fernando, you okay?
Spanish,
Yeah.
gibbering, very very fast, speaking Spanish. What do I roll for this guy? Um, somebody back there is muttering about sorcerers. Sorcerers! There's got to be sorcerers! They're all sorcerers! They're out to get me! You can hear, you recognize the voice of one of the sellswords. Because you guys have been with these guys for 2 weeks. You know these guys who are on this caravan. Um, he seems very agitated. This goes on for like maybe a little less than a minute before Fernando stops just jabbering
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
Um,
before then I'm probably gonna be like, hey Odilon, um, I
We
think one of
have
your
a
guys is having a
situation.
problem.
We
okay.
have a...
You have to go back over and talk to him.
No, I'm hollering it.
This whole area is very loud. There's
Okay.
farmers. You're in a marketplace. You know what I
All
mean?
right,
So
I'm going back to
okay,
Odilon
you go
then.
back. You run back. You walk
Yeah.
back. Okay. What's the matter?
Um, didn't one of the bandits go around that corner with one of the sellswords?
Yeah, that last one. Yeah, the one on the end of the
Um,
line was Valorous. You remember that?
that was Valorous is the one that went.
Yes. You remember he was on the end of the line. You look over at the bandits. He's not there.
Uh, I think Valorous escaped.
What?
I,
He
I,
starts
I
snapping
have
fingers and yelling at a couple more of his men.
Fernando and the guy who went to check.
Are they
They're,
dead?
they're they're screaming.
Okay. He's sending men to go check on this.
Oh god.
Somebody's got to make a sanity check before they get there. 42. That's a success because these guys are just average. Oh, and a 29. Oh, those two guys are made of sternish stuff. So two more guys come around the corner, Fernando. This dude beside you, well, you're not paying attention to him. You're temporarily insane. You're babbling on in Spanish and waving your arms in the air. And this guy's just looking at you like like you're going to try to get him, and muttering that sorcerers. He said, "You're a sorcerer, aren't you? I knew it. I knew it." These two other guys show up. And he starts going, "You two are both sorcerers." Eventually, he calms down, and shortly after that, Fernando, you regain control of your hysterics. Um, the two men, they lost one sanity point each. It is just um, they're starting to actually examine. Those two guys examine this body now. And one of
I
them
know
here.
who this was the work of Valorous. He made the threat that he would dissolve one of our bones to us.
He did that threat to Hutton. You weren't there when that happened.
Oh, I wasn't okay.
No, because that was when he was chasing Hutton into that building.
So how much have we been traveling?
It's been a week. Yeah, okay, I'll allow that. Hutton
Yeah.
could have told you what happened to him briefly, Oh,
Because
yeah.
there was so much of what happened in.
You mentioned it in
Tinkletown.
passing, though, Hutton. And
Yeah.
you didn't mention it to any of the other people on the caravan.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, probably to Fernando.
Okay.
He's probably asking me on the road. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
that
I would have.
one. That one said he was going to dissolve my bones, and that one, was going to feed me to the pigs, and
Yeah, they were pretty pissed at you. Yeah, it's pretty awful. It gets worse, Fernando, when one of the men says, "He's still alive."
Yeah, I probably go.
Okay,
like,
you feel the bile come up in the back of your throat.
Yeah, so he's heading back around the corner.
Okay, yeah. This is a
from
situation.
the scene.
This is a scary situation. Eventually, the men come back. Doctors are sent for. Someone is sent for. It's kind of out of y'all's hands at this point, unless you want to be involved. One of them, the sellswords, comes to you.
I might go to Odlon and let him know what I think is going on, and then I'll say, should the man who I believe is responsible, should he be gagged? Is that something that you would think would prevent him from doing this to anyone else?
I don't know anything about magic.
I don't either.
Is he there? Where is he?
You say, I'll look at the line. Is Valorous gone?
Yeah, Valorous is gone.
he's gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I guess I don't see him.
Yeah, okay. So they're trying to get some authorities to deal with this. I didn't know he was a sorcerer. No one told me, is what Olon says. It takes you guys a little longer to decide to actually be able to break away. The sellsword comes up. One of the sellswords comes up to you, Hutton. He goes, "You're Hutton, right?"
Yes.
Oh wait, Anid's still there. I forgot about Anid. Anid has bought a big ass goose leg that's fried or something. He's over there by one of the carts eating it. He says he said that Rolf, the guard. He said that Vowers said he'd be coming for you.
Okay.
And he wants his dog back. Okay, so.
Well, at least we know he's going to be coming for the dog.
Everybody looks pretty freaked out. A couple guards from the city come to try to deal with this. People are sent for. There's a lot of confusion. I don't know if you guys want to hang out for it or not. The rest of the prisoners aren't really involved in this incident. So if
the
you want
guard
to take them to the city, the sellswords will come with you.
Oh, okay. I mean, if the guard's going to be coming to this location, though, now.
Yeah, they're not dealing with these guys. They're just trying to deal with this freaking thing that's no bones that's behind this building.
Oh, I gotta go back there.
No, I see Loren start heading that way.
Hold on. Do you say that?
No. Yeah, I say that.
Okay,
I gotta go back
Fernando,
there.
he says that. Literally says.
No, you don't want to.
I might be able to track him.
It's been like 20, 30 minutes, maybe even 40. This guy's going to have a hell of a lead on you.
Yes, but
I might be able to then too. So trust me, you do not.
I'm sure I don't want to see it based on what everyone has said.
At least 2 people have had freakouts because of this so far.
I'm just... I point at... He said even, right?
Huh?
What was the guy who just talked to me? Fuck, I forgot his name.
Ralph is the dude with
Yeah.
the who melted.
No. The one that just told me.
I
That
don't
the
think I
other
gave
guy's
you a
coming.
name for him. I didn't make a
Okay.
name up for him, but Even's fine.
Yeah.
Or Rolf.
It sounds like he's gonna come for me because he wants his dog and he's angry that I
Oh,
killed half of their men.
it's not like they wiped out an entire village.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they
people
did.
don't think logically when they're bad people.
Um, yeah, so I'm gonna head back over there and I'm gonna look for some tracks or something. I'm gonna
Okay,
try
yeah,
it.
you can.
Your tracking better be better than mine.
I have no idea what anybody's numbers are.
I missed it by 5.
There are not 5 coins in play yet.
No. So
You could push if you want to push. It'll take you a while.
Push it.
Tell me how
yeah,
you want to do it. Just give me an idea. But I'll tell you, the downside is it's going to take extra time.
like he's getting down on the ground, like smelling the ground, maybe
All right.
like I don't know, tasting stuff or something. I
All
don't
right.
know.
This will take a little bit, like another half an hour. Did you fail
I
again?
rolled. Yeah, I rolled
Okay.
even worse.
You waste 2 hours doing this. Then, since you failed, you waste 2 hours looking for, and you got some
Anything,
fucking something in your teeth now from tasting the dirt.
some
And it
grass or
won't come
something.
out. No, it's like it's hard. It's like a little piece of grit or something stuck in your teeth. So Hutton, guards come. Certain men, medical men, you think come. You see people go behind the building and come out and throw up. You see people go behind the building and then just come out screaming and run away. Um, Eventually, a there is a oh crap, what's it called? Where they got guys on each end just carrying a dude in like
Gurney.
a litten. No, it's a
Litter.
litter, not a litter. No,
Litter.
it's not a litter. It's what the fuck are those things
Is it a
called?
gurney?
No. It doesn't have wheels. It doesn't have anything on it. It's just you put it down on the ground. It's a little. It's got a little shelter area with some curtains you can close. You know what
Oh.
I'm talking about? I can't remember what the hell it's called. I'm blanking.
Mm.
Um, that's what
So
that's what they end up bringing in.
like
Is it?
nobles.
Yeah, like
Is it like
nobles.
a trebuchet? Is
No,
that?
No.
a
Trebuchet
trebuchet
is a
is a
catapult.
Oh
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking.
Um,
Yeah.
You see someone come by on a trebuchet? No, I see someone go by from a trebuchet.
right.
let's look.
I
Romans.
can see my house from here.
I'm just trying to think of what do they call that?
Oh,
There it is.
a travois. You might be
No, it's not a
not the
travois.
travois. That's
Why is this picture here? They call it a litter here too, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Hold on.
I was just thinking of something
Let's
that
take
you
a
like throw
quick
together to
search.
carry like a person or whatever, so you can like drag them along the
No, I
ground.
just want. Oh, what are they doing to
But
Google search? Son of a bitch. Google search used to be great. You click on a picture and you hit. There it is. What is this? Wheelchairs. Why are they using this picture for wheelchair shit?
a sedan chair, maybe.
Sedan chair. Yes, that's totally what it's called. Thank you. They've changed everything on Google and now it sucks balls again. For a while it was great again. Essentially, yeah, it's a sedan chair. I don't think that's exactly what they called it. Roman Empire. Again, I got a lot of pictures and I cannot find what the fuck. Maybe it is just a litter. Yeah, sedan
okay,
chair. Yep. A Celta. Anyway, blah, 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 that was a lot of waste of time. Sorry. They bring it in. They take it behind the building. A little while later, they bring it back out. All the curtains are drawn, and they take it into the city. Official-looking people. Um, and people come back out from behind that building. Everybody but Fernando. He doesn't come back out yet, Loren.
Yeah.
So you wait and wait and wait. Fern asks if you can get them some food.
Say grumble, grumble, grumble.
That's you, Hutton. Fern asks
Yeah.
for some
Oh,
food.
yeah. Um. Oh God, I don't have any freaking money here.
You can make money though
I
by
can make money though.
dreaming.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to
Yeah, make a roll.
dream up some jade again.
Yeah, 1 point.
Gonna
Holy
grab a
crap! I
rock.
did.
Did it? Boom. How much? Like a handful?
Uh, a dozen pieces.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Dozen small, nice looking pieces of jade.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
There's
gonna
places
go.
selling food and drink
Yeah.
in this area. You get the kids something to eat. You get something for
Yep.
Oyster. And
Yeah.
eventually Fernando finally comes out from behind that building looking 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 kind of bummed. Yeah, and picking at his teeth. That's another good
Any
one,
luck?
Fernando.
Um, I did find the track. I did find tracks though, right?
You didn't find any
No.
tracks. No.
I say
Nothing
so.
nothing
Yeah.
significant.
No, I did not find a thing.
Oh my God. I don't think I've Fernando's tracked around me.
No, usually with tracking, you guys have been just looked around and then like, oh, look at that, and then you immediately point it out, and it's not been
I
like
do think there was a time though where
figuring out how good.
Hutton found something before I did,
Might have, yeah,
or found something
yeah.
better.
Like it's basically now Hutton's in his mind going, "Am I a better tracker than him?
Right.
I don't know."
You have no idea. You guys haven't compared notes. You've never been out like we're hunting, and Fernando's been
Yeah.
like, haha, there's the way to go, or whatever. That's just to your remembrance that has not happened.
I'm a city boy who can track.
Yeah, that's okay. So what do y'all want to do?
You're welcome to take a look. The atrocity that was back there is gone now.
Yes, you did see them
Okay.
put it into the litter and
Well,
close it all up.
he
You saw it
he
happen. You didn't look
he
at it.
saw bodies doing movement
Yes,
or whatever, and
actually,
yeah, like he
Well,
wasn't going to look over there at
This
all.
This
You're
is
over
going to
your
get
temporary
difficult. More people have been.
I know, but he wasn't going to
Back
take a
there.
look and see them try to like put this
Yeah.
blob into a bucket.
Yeah, it's going to be even worse when you try to pick it up.
into a bucket.
That's how else do you think they're going to carry it?
I'll go back and look now.
Yeah, okay. The area's been like tromped around by a lot of people.
Yeah.
So give yourself a penalty die.
But we die.
Yeah, re-roll your tens die. Take your worst.
Yeah. So that's going to be the double-digit one.
Yes.
Only a 40. That's a success.
You do find some tracks going into the field. They're like 2 or 3 hours old now.
Okay.
They're very cold. Regular success?
Regular success for
Okay.
me.
Yep.
I'm going to take out my scimitar
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just going to make like an arrow in the ground pointing in the direction I see them going.
Okay, yeah. Done.
One that I can easily find again, hopefully.
Okay, yeah. You think you would be able to.
Yeah.
You could basically follow them not very far to the edge of the cornfield, and it disappears into
Yeah.
the cornfield.
Okay. I'll go back to Fernando's. Like, I found boot prints heading into the field, but it's been a few hours now since this happened.
Yes, there's no telling where he would be by now.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's going to try to come for us, especially for me. But I don't know how to fight magic.
I don't know how to fight magic in this world. I wish I had my pistol on me. That's the only way I know how to fight magic.
There we go.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to cast a spell if you ain't breathing.
That's not what I want. That's what I want.
So, I mean, you know what? Let's focus on getting the kids safe.
I agree.
There's still a couple sellswords watching the other prisoners, waiting for you guys too,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
because
We're
they're going
heading
to
over
help
to
you
them
get them
now.
into the
Yeah,
get them into town.
we're gonna do that now.
And they're still unloading caravan wagons. Odilon is talking to various people. Looks like he might be talking to a goose farmer. Man's like pissed for some reason. The goose farmer is. And Alonzo's just like, and just you don't know what's going on. It's over there, off to one side. This, you know, other people are hawking wares around you. Um, mostly it's a farmer's market though. It's not like it's far.
It's
It's
not like a
yeah,
flea market.
right.
It's
It's yeah. You could get food here. Obviously, there's places that sell some food, but other than that,
right.
it looks like this is mainly just a big farmer's
Oh,
market
I guess the question is
and a caravan
how
depot.
much jade did I have to spend?
Just one. One fed the
Just one.
kids. Yeah.
Okay.
These are like gems, so they have some more value than just say a silver coin or something you would
All right.
guess. Yeah. Lots of people jabbering, lots of people talking. The sellswords are waiting for you to
No,
escort you up to the city.
yeah, we're heading up to them,
Okay. Yeah.
and yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're there. You
So
ready?
yeah, we're ready.
All right. So you guys head up to the gate. Um, there is a woman standing by the gate. She has on the inside. Actually, we'll stick her in. We'll stick her in NPCs. She's wearing like black robes. She's got like a stylus or a clipboard kind of thing. It's got a little tiny pot that appears to be closed. There's also like a quill that's clamped to one side of it. She's talking to. There's not tons of traffic. It's not like crowded, but there are people coming and going. And people that are coming into the city seems to be asking a question, and most of them are shaking their heads, and then they just continue moving on in. Mostly farmers, this kind of thing, are kind of coming into the city. Um, um, you don't see anybody that stands out as a dreamer or a sellsword or anybody that's like Anid is still back at the. Actually, Anid will come with you when he sees you heading
Okay.
out. He'll come with you. And once you guys reach her, she says, "Good afternoon. Do you have anything to declare?"
No,
No. You, sir?
Um, Not that I know. No.
Not that you know.
What normally would people declare?
Oh,
We're
I'm
new.
sorry. Your information. If you have any valuable information that might be of use to the sages of Zakarion, it is very valuable, and I'm here to find out if anyone has any valuable information they wish to declare. And these would be things that people don't know. That's the best thing.
Um, a psychology check. Make
hmm
sure she's like on the up and up.
There are some men, some guards nearby who can overhear this conversation of the
Okay.
city.
I failed. So.
Okay, so whatever you think. She pulls the quill. She's got the quill in her hand. I
There's
said it was
a
clipped. It's probably just been in her hand the whole time.
there was just a murder outside.
Oh no no no! Not local news. Uh,
Well,
things that
the
no one knows
murderer
about the most valuable.
the murderer knows how to use magic.
That's interesting, but not
Okay,
particularly of
that no one
value.
knows about. You ever heard of frizzies?
No,
I describe them.
she just shakes her head. Uh, One thing I should tell you, sir. Lying is considered a capital offense in Zakarian. Misinformation is a terrible crime. I just wish for you to
I'm not,
know this
I'm not
before
lying.
you say anymore. No, I understand. I believe you. But I want you to know that. And she looks at your companion and she looks back at you, just in case. She's starting to jot this down about frizzies. Can you tell me more about this?
Yeah, I give a description of frizzies, then to what becomes frizzy knocks.
Okay, okay. This is obviously of interest to her. She's writing this down very,
Yeah,
very carefully. Where are these things from? What?
they were to the west in Twinkletown.
Twinkletown. Where's that?
Through the what was the name of the woods?
The Dark Forest of Gloon.
Yeah, the dark forest of Gloon.
Fr- Wait. The Are these vicious creatures?
They can be.
Fernando's just nodding. But
Actually,
but
when she said like that lying was a crime in this town, maybe like one bead of sweat will roll down Fernando's forehead.
hey, at least he knows now.
But yeah.
Just a minute, Fev. And she kind of gestures. Another scribe comes over. She says, "Take over. Can I speak to you for just a little while, please? It could
um,
be very valuable for you."
sure. We're actually taking some bandits to, you know, be locked up,
Oh,
and
oh. She
Actually,
turns and she snaps her fingers at these
and
some guards near one of the tower gates, and they come over. And after a few minutes discussion, you're able to turn these guards over, these prisoners over to these guards. They get your name. They take a statement of what happened. They're gonna want to. It's okay. You guys are gonna have to be processed. So they're actually gonna take the prisoner. One takes the prisoners away. You guys need to go, and the children need to go and give statements. It'll
yeah,
probably take about an hour, is what ends up happening. The woman, this woman who initially talked to you, says, "Well, I also need to talk to them. It could be immensely important. Um, immensely important." And so you guys pretty much get to waste the rest of this day. Isabel's like, "I'm not with them," and she just walks into town. But she goes, "Wait, do you know where there's a doctor?" And so she's conferring with somebody, this other scribe or clerk or whatever he is, about a doctor. Um, is what I'm going to say is what happens to her, because she really needs to get some medical attention.
yeah.
So you guys are first questioned. You're asked statements about what happened with the bandits. The children are questioned about what happened with the bandits, and it basically, I guess, boils down to they wiped out a town. And so, yeah, okay. Um, you might be asked to. You don't know what's going to happen at this point. You're told you might need to come back to testify, and please stay in Zakarion for a while. Are you planning on staying here? Is what one of these guards says.
Yeah, I think we were at least a little bit.
Good, good. If you can inform us where you're staying, so we can contact you if we need you.
All right.
where
They're
where
very
is a
polite.
good inn within the city? Would you
Yeah.
be able to point us to something like that?
Yeah, the guard would know of some of the inns in the city.
A
Um,
secure one, a secure inn.
Secure.
Yes.
Well, there's, let's see, where are you guys? You're at B2, G1 actually, the gate, um, which is the newcomers gate, is what you find out it is called from some of the conversation that goes back and forth between some of these people. Let's see. The nearest one is the River Row Inn, which is down on the river. He gives you some instructions to that. It's not a bad inn. Um, Up in the High District is the Page and Pen. That's a very, very, very fine inn. And then over across in the Library District, this is the Library District right here. There is the Archive Inn is down this road and to your left, and then the Earthmology Inn is over in the Numerals District, and that's on. And he's pointing kind of straight ahead from this gate to the towards the east side of town, further in. Um,
Let me guess, Hutton. You want to go to the library inn?
the Archive Inn.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The
What's
archive
wrong
inn.
with libraries?
You just want to go,
Oh,
don't
there
you?
are many libraries in
I can
Zakarion,
tell you.
as
That's
this
good.
guard
I can
tells you.
tell.
Actually, I would like to be at the one that has the best security.
The safest one in town.
He would. He's guessing that probably the Page and Pen, which is in the High District, and he kind of gestures towards that big structure on the top of the hill. Um, it's very, very, very expensive, is what he tells you.
Hmm.
Usually nobility stay there
Okay.
to visit. Are you done with them? That's the scribe lady who's been just waiting all this time while you guys gave your statements to the guards and everything. And they say, yeah, yeah, we're done, we're done, we're done. So she wants to know. She needs what details you have about the Frizzies and the Dark Forest of Gloon. What do you want to tell me?
I
Um,
mean,
Just basically.
Fernando would say these children would probably be able to give you the best information on all of that.
I'll definitely talk to them as well. But she's going to talk
um,
to everybody. She
yeah.
wants to know. She's very very blunt with you. Nobody knows why the Dark Forest of Gloom is so dangerous. Nobody knows anything about Twinkletown
Hmm.
and these Frizzies and Frizzy Knocks. Nobody knows this. This is new information to me.
Well, yeah. It seems like the people of Twinkletown, we pretty much had it confirmed, figured out a way to domesticate the Frizzies.
These terrible beasts.
Yes.
Okay.
Only at night. Only at night.
And
Okay.
well,
Or only in the dark. Actually,
Yeah.
maybe that's what he'd say. Only
All right.
in the dark.
She says, "Okay, this is actually above me. I need to get someone. I need to get a sage. So, um, can you wait here, please?" She's very polite, but she asks you to wait, and then she leaves, and she returns after half an hour with another man. Uh, have I got a picture of him? I don't know if I do or not. I don't know if I gave pictures to all these people I decided to name. Oh, I did. There he is. He introduces himself as Quigiad, the sage of a reputable sage of fantastic creatures of the Dreamlands. She comes in with him. She's taking notes while he questions you, and this questioning lasts about with you and the kids lasts probably another hour. Um, uh, do you reveal that the Frizzies are well? If you don't, the kids are gonna. Somebody reveals that the Frizzies are afraid of dogs.
that was I was trying to get to, but she
Okay, okay.
wouldn't let me get to it.
No, she was. This goes. This is above her like pay grade.
Yeah.
She had to get somebody who really would know because obviously she knew something about the Dark Forest of Gloom, but this guy's probably an expert because he's
Hmm.
a sage. And yes, he asks you many very pointed and very like important sounding questions. You know what I mean? Like he
Yeah.
gets right
Very
to the matter of it.
yeah,
What can
very
kill him?
specific.
Yes. What? Why? Okay. Blah, blah, blah. And he basically gets everything out of you that he can. Um, thanks you. Um, says Tifril, uh, get them the platinum marker. And she seems really surprised by this, like whoa. And she says, "1 moment, please," and she leaves. And she brings you each back. It's not a coin; it's more of a little flat bar with writing on it, noting
Okay.
that the information you've provided the city of Zakarion um, entitles you to platinum, essentially platinum status. And each of you
Okay.
holds on to this. What do you you won't need me for this. And Quigiad leaves. He takes her notes that she just wrote up and leaves. Thanks you very very politely, and then he leaves. Obviously to write a dissertation or something. You don't know. She says what? She says there you go. Thank you. Oh wait. I've got to get some for the children as well. And she gives these to the children as well. She says,
Will
well,
this
I'm going to give the children's to you. And she hands each of you another one,
Yeah.
so you each have two.
um okay. All right. Well, yeah. There was someone else traveling with us. They're not here with us at the moment.
Yeah. She needed to see a physician.
Oh, I hope she found the college. Well, if that's fine. You can use this with her. You can use those with her as well.
Okay, okay.
You do know what they are, don't you?
I'm assuming we can, and I'll point up like the hill or whatever like that. We can get into there a lot easier.
Well, you point up towards like the big castle at the top. She goes, no, 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 no,
Well,
no, no, no.
well, no,
You
no,
can't
no,
get
maybe
in
not
there.
there. Or we can enter the Hyde district.
Oh, you could
Probably.
before. This with the information that you've given and the time that we have spent with you. This is immensely valuable information. Uh, uh, if you present this, you won't have to pay for anything.
Oh,
Okay.
At least
for
until
how long?
she turns it over and it's got a date on it. She says this is good for 6 months. So basically, this is a you guys have a platinum credit card
Right.
that you can use in Zakarion only probably,
Ooh.
and then you've got the
Right.
platinum itself after it goes after you've used it up too, which is probably
Okay.
not inexpensive, and it
Right.
almost looks like a little work of art.
Okay.
Your names aren't engraved on them or anything. And just protect those
Right.
because they are very valuable. But you should be able to stay in any inn in the city without any problems at all. This information is invaluable, and I believe Quigad's going to send an expedition tomorrow. That would be my guess, with as many dogs as he can get his hands on.
Well, I mean, a whole caravan of us was able to pass through at least half of the woods with only one dog.
Ah,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
but with 6 or 8 dogs, they can spread out and explore.
Right. I'm just letting you know. Let's say
She seems very
they were
excited. Oh, I hope he
one
takes
was
me with him.
one was quite effective.
Thank you, thank you. That is great information. Um, yes, you come to the understanding that no one, for as long as the Dark Forest of Gloon has been there, nobody ever figured out what the hell was in there, what was killing everybody, or anything, or what Twinkletown's secrets were.
Hmm.
So this is huge. This is huge in Zakarion. Pretty soon that information will become more common knowledge. But since you were the ones who brought it,
Could
is there anything I could do for you?
just leave our names off any sort of maybe well, I don't know if or only put our names down on official record. Don't go around spreading. We've recently learned someone may be trying to do us harm.
Oh dear. Oh no.
So
Well, there should,
we
unless that person is a high sage or one of the sages of the city, I don't think it will be a problem.
okay. I'm just saying.
They didn't even take
Yeah,
your.
we learned we need to keep some information about us secret.
Well, we don't even take the names of people except birth certificates, death certificates. That is all kept very careful track of. But those who come and go through the city are not all recorded.
Okay.
She mentioned something about the records office is only open from 9 to 12 because of somebody's name you don't quite catch that she seems irritated with. This
Okay.
sounds like personal shit though, not so much.
Right.
But yes, but you're free to go, of course. And yes, and thank you. Once this, now I have to warn you, if this information is verified as false, there will be severe repercussions. But if everything is true, you're the bells of the ball. And then she'll escort you out of this tower where you've had all these interrogations, and you find that it's almost nightfall. You've wasted this, well, not wasted, but it's spent all this time.
Most of the day,
Yeah,
like
just like
yeah.
tell me everything between
Right.
Quigiad
Well,
and this lady. Her name
okay.
was Tifril. Um,
Yeah, so we're gonna head to the pen and
yeah.
what was that?
Um, the pen and paper
Okay.
inn,
I
I
guess
believe, was the name.
like I
The
get for some odd
page,
reason I
the page and pen was the one they
okay.
said nobility go to.
Yes, that's the one. So that's the one we're gonna head to.
Okay, yeah. So you head up. You start walking down the streets. Everything's well lit. All the homes, all the buildings as you're passing them are very nicely built. Again, walls of abalone, mother of pearl. Everything kind of is sparkling and shining. There are street lamps being lit by men in brisk little uniforms as they go down the street, lighting these street lamps. You
Can
ask,
I can I take a mental note of some of the people around the city? I want to look for people that I I think are well dressed or whatever. And
Um,
then
yeah, 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 of course.
so I'm gonna try to come up with like an outfit for myself or whatever that makes me look a little bit more well established or
Oh,
something in
yeah,
the
okay.
city.
Yeah, so you're starting to kind of okay. Um, trying to think of what a role for you to make, but I don't know if I can. We'll figure it out. Um,
Well, say, could I just do like a dreaming check or whatever, or and
yeah,
try to?
you can try to change your closing with a dream check. Yeah, it'll cost a
Yeah,
point.
that's basically what I want
Yeah.
to try to do, right?
So what
All
do you
right.
want? You want like to look wealthier, or just
Uh,
look more like you're fitting in?
I guess he wants to kind of look like someone that might be heading to the page in pen or something, or someone that might be
Okay.
that would be welcome there with no questions
Yeah,
asked,
your own clothes are a little
potentially.
tattered from
Yeah,
all of the crap you've had to go through.
right.
You're wearing. Don't forget, you're wearing boiled leather armor still.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um, nobody that you're passing is wearing any armor. You're not seeing many
So
weapons, mostly just daggers or knives. Occasionally,
okay.
somebody has a sword. It's usually a pretty nice sword. Most people that are around, you're passing.
Although
There's a lot of craftsmen. There are a lot of like little shops and stuff. You know what I mean? Um,
actually,
it's just
that's true too. Maybe I'll just stop at a shop and try to get an outfit, a nice
oh yeah,
outfit,
you
and
can find a
I'll
clothing store.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, and I'll just present them like that platinum bar or something and see if that
yeah,
works.
it does. They're like,
Okay,
he gets your name and he's keeping,
Fernando,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, he's getting your name and he's
Jimenez.
obviously keeping track of how much you're spending
Okay.
because most likely he'll be reimbursed at some point
Oh,
from the
gotcha.
city. This is a
From
city
the
issue
city.
thing. Yeah, but
Gotcha.
yeah, when you start describing the rich clothing that you want, like velvet and with little, gold trim and all this other stuff, he's, oh, sir, I'm sorry. I don't have anything like that. I'm so sorry. But he does recommend you a place in the High District, which is just up this street, and then it's around to the left,
Okay.
basically. And you can find that place, and at which point you can use the basically credit card, and you can get a very
Right.
nice suit of clothes that is the carry. And he's like, well, do you wish to be dressed as a scribe, or would you prefer a sage, or are you going for more of a nobility?
Nobility.
Oh yes, no robes for you. I see. Okay, so they get you set up with some fine clothing. Um,
Okay.
uh, both of you make me both make me a spot hidden check.
I just failed it. Yeah. I'm
Loren,
not gonna use
you're
it.
standing in this upscale, posh establishment, and you look down at Fern and Dolphin, who are sitting there on a chair, nodding. They're a little tired with the dog. And you realize that their clothes are farmers'
Rags.
clothes,
Yeah.
that that their boots are not, they've been walking in these like real thin leather boots for the past 7 days, and you come to the realize and you realize that those aren't really built for like walking, they're built for like farming.
Yeah.
um, and they're just not wearing very nice clothing.
Um, while we're at it, maybe we should get something nice for the children as well.
Oh, that's an excellent idea.
So, the children here. They have plenty of little different outfits that will fit
And
either
they
of
can
them.
decide what to say. They can decide what they want, what they like.
Okay, yeah. So they each end up with a very cute little outfit. Um, Dolphins is very bright. Lots of purple. He's got a really tall hat for some reason that kind of hooks at the end. It's got a bell. Um, Fern just thinks he looks ridiculous. She just takes a relatively pretty dress, um, and one that she can sash at the center, and she still has a bonnet. But yeah, what about Hutton?
Yeah, I suppose I should not be dressed like a knight of the round table.
He's got a tabard. He's got this big tabard on.
Yeah.
Actually, you probably don't have the tabard anymore
No.
because you used it as a bag for a little
Yep.
while.
Yeah, it's
and it was
pretty.
kind of a mess.
Um, yeah,
But yeah,
I
you can get
I
set
would
up
like
with a
something
really
nice
nice
as
suit.
well. Just
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they get you set up. You're wearing fashionable clothing of Zakarion.
Okay.
Um, and basically, your other clothing, they put into a satchel for you. You can also put your armor in there if you.
Yeah, I was gonna put
The
my
armor's
armor in
really
there.
not fashionable. The man will tell you. And so you've got your armor and stuff in that. Um, you got your scimitar on your belt.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so this fashionable looking sort of group heads out of the shop and then back up the street looking for the
And a nice collar for the dog.
a nice what?
A nice
Collar.
collar for the dog.
Page and pen. Yes, that you'll have to get elsewhere, I'm afraid. Don't forget you still have the muzzle. Um,
Yep.
um, the page and pen. Um, the children are getting very tired when you finally find the page and pen. It's over at H5. That's over by the gate that is actually on the other side of the High District. There's two gates. This is the upper gate, the one that's higher up the hill.
Okay.
And it's just
Yeah.
inside. It's a big inn. You can get settled in there. Once you present your platinum, the innkeeper is very, very interested in finding you the best room in the house. Takes you all the way to the top where you have a room with a big balcony that looks over the entire city. Uh, uh, it's more of a suite, so it's got a central room and then like four bedrooms off of it. It's just wonderful up there. There's a nice breeze coming in from the sea. You can look out over the ocean. You see a lighthouse down there shining on the map that is down at G5, which is down actually kind of close to the compass rose, sticking out from the wall. You can see the lights of the city below you, twinkling, glowing. The Abalonian and Mother of Pearl, everything is shiny and sparkling, and you can see the whole city down below you. Um, um, yeah, I mean, you can't make out any details, but you see this entire city, the section of city across the river, smoke coming up from certain chimneys. Uh, you're tired, but you feel
Hungry. I would say I don't
content.
think I've
Oh,
eaten all day.
they bring food to you. Your
Yeah.
food is brought to your room if you ask for
Actually,
it.
say I would ask for some dinner, a fine bottle of wine, and then a pipe and some fine tobacco.
Somewhere amidst all this confusion, you've lost a Nid. You have no idea where he is at present.
I
So
figured he's doing his own thing.
yeah,
So
um, so yeah, there are bedclothes for you in if you want them in the rooms.
okay.
I mean, this is like super posh. They bring you lots of food, wine, that kind of thing, and yeah, you end your day relaxing in.
Fernando will say after eating, he'll probably sit out on the balcony and smoke on a pipe and drink some wine and just try to wind down after everything.
The kids fall asleep real fast after
I
they
figured they would. Like
they eat.
as soon as we get the kids
They
to bed, actually,
crash.
that's when he's doing that.
Yeah, they both
So
fall asleep on couches in the room. You guys have to pick them up and put them in the beds.
We'll get
Um,
the
huh?
food for the dog as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oyster enjoys herself quite immensely and ends up in the bed with Fern. Um, and yeah, yeah. And you're pretty much set in Zakarion. The
I'll be right back.
What do you guys want to do in the city? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Aaron. I can deal with
Okay, okay.
Loren with Hutton first.
Ooh.
I mean, you came to City of Sages,
Yeah.
and here you are,
You
and you
wanna let me look, where is it at? There it is. Looking at my notes here real quick.
that's awesome. I love notes.
There I didn't take any of the last couple games, but like these are when we started learning about the Wizard Wilkes. I need to get better at just note taking in general.
You got my journals.
Yep.
You can always refer to them and then Write down what you think is important.
Hofar.
Day 56.
Was it in Zakarion? That was in oh god, the last city.
What was it? What are you asking?
Hofar. That was a sage, I
Hofar.
think, in the last city that knew something about the Wizard Wilkes.
In Ulthar, there was Ulthar's a place,
Yeah.
and then you dealt with. There was a sage there who gave you some information.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think that
hold
was
on.
Hofar.
Ouch. I was wondering why it's so hot. The fan isn't on.
Yeah,
Can't
I think
find
that
it
was
now.
Hofar in
Here it is. You spoke, yeah, Harfer. You spoke to Harfer
that's what it was.
in Ulthar. He's from Zakarion.
Yep.
He was there doing some kind of research on poetry of Ulthar and Dilathleen. He said that he gave you the city of Hlanith, was where he had heard that the Wizard Wilkes went after Ulthar.
Yep.
Long before.
All right. Yeah. So
You
I'm
found
gonna want
out.
to try to speak with some sages
Mm-hmm.
about, I mean, how to get to this location if they know anything about the Wizard Wilkes.
Okay.
Um. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't want to give too much away now. Like, it's one of those things, like, I feel like, oh, did I say too much?
Ah, I get that. So, I need to know. Well, you have a huge breakfast the next morning.
Yeah.
Obviously, they bring the breakfast up to you and to the kids. Um, if you guys figure out what information you're trying to get, we can kind of skim over the next several days
Yeah.
as you start to get it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to like have you talk and role play every single sage in the city.
I want to know if they've got more information in the city about the Wizard Wilkes.
Right. Wrote that down.
And really just like the direction and maybe maps of the area towards what Hofer said.
Hlanith. Hlanith is the
Hlanith.
next city where Wilkes was supposedly went. Okay.
And I would let Fernando know, like, that evening, like, while we're probably enjoying some wine together.
That first evening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might want to start keeping a few things under our collar.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of don't want to mention that we're dreamers.
Right. I was going to say if they asked us that we were pilgrims, but now that since you said if we're caught lying or whatever, so
capital offense.
Yeah, maybe with these, maybe that can help us be more discreet and we'll get less questions asked of us.
You're being so discreet. You've got the best room in the biggest hotel in the
I know.
whole town.
I mean,
but he's not saying we're We're not dreamers, though. He's not saying any of that.
I mean, do you think we could buy a property with these?
I don't know.
And then we're not lying. We could say, "Oh, we own a house here. We own homes here." I'm not a fan of lying myself, but
you're gonna buy property just so you can lie. Basically,
it's not a lie.
Technically, no, it's not a lie, but it is still,
it's
you're just trying to deceive people.
Yeah. So you can honestly deceive people.
Yes, the best liars are very honest people.
Yeah, in my opinion, that's a terrible idea. But, whatever. If you want your names to go in the city records, you can buy property because that is all going to end up in the records of the city.
Yeah. I mean, if someone really pushes us, we could, our last known residence is Saltmarsh.
That's true. Ooh, you guys are so paranoid. I love it.
And if they ask, it's
After a guy got fucking his bones melted, yeah.
you got
I guess
Ark of the
Walrus
Covenant.
was telling the truth when he said he was going to melt your bone or just dissolve your
Yeah.
bones. Holy crap.
I mean,
As soon as you said someone went missing, I'm like, oh shit, I know exactly what happened.
I did too. I mean, push come to shove, we tell the truth.
Yeah, very well.
If they really press the issue, we'll tell them we're dreamers. We're here, who we're looking for. But if they don't ask, we don't have to give.
Right. Very true. So I imagine you're going to want to do some research in the morning.
The main thing we need to. I would like to get some more information on the city Lyneth, and maybe if we could find maps leading to it, the area around it, just a better idea of what we're going to, and information on the Wizard Wilkes that they might have here.
I got too many notes.
Too many.
I'm just Lyneth. Is that the city of thieves? Are we going there?
No, Dilathleen is the one you
Oh,
found.
that's Diathleen. Okay. All right. Then I'm not as worried as.
I mean, if anybody asks, we're pretty certain Wilkes is a relative of mine.
You're actually 100% certain, aren't you?
Yeah.
You got a letter from your mom. Don't forget to look up your great uncle. He's out in California somewhere. As far as she knows, the entire West Coast is California, probably.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like Sean's mom calling to worry about a hurricane that's in,
Texas.
No,
Yeah.
If there's a hurricane coming up the East Coast, my mom will be like, "You guys need to evacuate. There's room here." I'm like, I am not driving 12 hours.
She just wants you to come home. She misses you.
And I like coming home until I see all the damn teapots.
Oh. Hey, she loves them.
Hey,
I have a whole.
I can't say much. I mean, I've got.
Yeah, and I got cubic feet of freaking role
gaming.
Games. Yeah. An entire
They never play.
But they're so much fun to read. And they make me happy just having them.
Yeah.
If something makes you happy,
we gotta play more games.
I know. I'll get into that. Now I'm almost done with freaking Hunt Showdown highlights videos. I got 4 more episodes. And I'm
Okay.
totally done with that. And that's going to open up a lot of my time. Because those things were sucking me dry. Yeah. Anyway, way off topic. So the next day, you're going to go out in search of the city. Or actually, for the next several days, probably. Trying to find sages who can help you with, right now, these 2 pieces of information. And then if that releases more information, then you can follow up on that with various sages. It's pretty easy to learn that Hlanith is further up the coast to the north from Zakarion. Probably less than a week by fast ship. Way less than a week, actually. Probably closer to like 3 or 4 days. It is at the mouth of the river Okrenos. It is a free city between the country of Okrenos and Kled. It's right on the coast. You can't really miss it. It's here. Hold on. You have pretty much free reign with the platinum cards that you have. Um, so Hlanith is a great seaport. It's on both sides actually of the river Okranos. The walls are made of granite, and the houses have fantastically peaked roofs. The wharfs of Hlanith are made of oak, and the streets are rutted from the passage of ox carts on their way to the city's markets. Um, the streets and the buildings near the wharves are crusty with salty spray of high tides, and all the city's taverns are located near the wharves by law. Um, it is thought that Hanith is in closer proximity to the waking world than almost any other city in the Dreamlands. Um, and the king is good and fair, though he likes the luxuries of life perhaps a little overmuch. That's what you learn of Hanith. It's a big city, probably on the scale of Zakarion, maybe larger. You don't find out much about the wizard Wilkes. There are some sages actually who are part of the. Let's see. Damn it! I broke the city down into two different lists, and I'm having part of the High Tower of Magical Knowledge, who you referred to. Um, this is L2, by the way. You pass this big, tall tower on your way into the city on from the Newcomers Gate um, on the main road that leads all the way up the hill to the Great Sages, to the High Sages. Sorry, the High Sages Palace. Um, you referred there. In this place, they actually collect magical books and such. None of them practice magic, as magic as wizards tend to not be looked favorably upon, as they sometimes go crazy or just start murdering people for no apparent good reason. Um, but books are stored there. It's a tall tower. It's a college of magic, but it's like magic theory, not magic like we're going to cast spells. It's more like, this is how this works and this kind of thing. Um, um, there's a library there that houses several ancient tomes and that kind of thing. Um, when you ask there, now this is over the course of several days that you're moving about the town and that kind of thing. Um, as they try to help you, but the Wizard Wilkes, you do find that Wizard Wilkes is very secretive, and always has been. He's been around the Dreamlands for some time, a couple generations or more. But though he is said to do some terrible things in the Dreamlands, where he is obviously some kind of closely guarded secret. They are very interested if you find out in telling them. But they do not know exactly where he is, although there are rumors that he is on a sea coast in some kind of city on a sea. But that's all they know really about the Wizard Wilkes. There are several basically mythos tomes in this place as well. That none of the libraries in the city, you find out pretty quickly, lend books, obviously, but people can come in and use them. And there are a lot of libraries in Zakarion. There are also about several colleges, and over the course of your span of time there, you come to the understanding that sometimes people, nobility, royalty, and even just people with a lot of money, send their children to Zakarion to learn to go to a college or university. Everybody in the city is literate, like everybody can read. That's one of the things that the high sages have done. It is their belief that everybody should read. It is their belief that even the lowest classes should be paid enough because that
Okay.
puts money back into the economy of the city. There are no really, really rich people hoarding cash in Zakarion simply because it's not seen as wise to do so. Um, um, so yeah, so that's what you're learning so far. You've also noticed there are some problems in the city. It's not like a utopia. There have been some. You keep hearing rumors about protests. Um, there have been a couple of riots.
Hmm.
Something is happening in the city that you're just starting to kind of like catch rumors of here and there. It has something to do with, you think, some new invention. Certain guilds, certain groups don't like this thing. And after about a week, you learned that um, it's a pen. Someone has invented a pen nib that can be used with a pen instead of using goose quills. It writes much smoother and cleaner.
Hmm.
It doesn't break as fast as a quill. A quill's going to break after you use it because of pushing against the paper and that kind of thing. And it sounds like different organizations in the city. Some like it, some don't like this pen. Um, um, the ink maker's warehouse is vandalized at one point during this first week that you're in Zakarion. And if you guys want to do anything else besides like research, let me know. Um, the Many of the jars of ink there are vandalized one day during this time by apparently some of the other groups. I don't know if you guys want to even deal with this shit, or if it's a lot of background information. But
Okay.
if you guys want to go and talk to these people, you can. You don't have to. It's just all this shit is kind of happening, and there's a little bit of unrest in the city right now.
I say, I mean, in all honesty, Fernando's probably more interested in that stuff than doing research.
Okay.
So Fernando's not a researcher, so
Yeah, you could be
gossip is
looking into this.
gossip is kind of right up his alley.
Yeah, there's a lot of gossip. You found out after a few days about this pen, about an ink pen, a nib, a metal nib, um, and you finally get a name. Calorie Frickard is the man who invented this over in the Artisans District. He's well known for his calligraphy and his ink and all this stuff.
So was it his store that was vandalized
No, that
then?
was the ink makers. Calorie Frickard's a pen maker, um,
Okay, but you
or
said
a
he
quill
sold
maker.
like
He
ink.
makes
I thought
quills.
you said he sold ink as
Sorry, no, I
well.
was mistaken there. He sells
Okay.
quills, uh, beautiful quills of different colors, and apparently he invented this pen, which is basically it's you still have to dip it and write and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a handle with a little metal. You guys are very familiar with ink pens.
Yeah.
I think they're
Right.
around by the 1870s, but it holds the ink supposedly. And what happened was once this happened, he invented this. He started selling them, on a very small scale to try to he's a pen maker. He makes quills. He would sell quills of different colors for different people, whatever's in fashion. Um, the guild of scribes. Um, Hold on. The Nope. The guilds. The guild of clerks and scribes were the first ones to. They were not happy about this new pen. Um, from what you could put piece together, Aaron, um, they prophesied it would create mass unemployment for scribes and clerks, as there wouldn't be many needed because the quills are slower writers. With the ink pens, they'll be able to write faster, and soon they won't need as many of them. So there was they were not happy with that. Now the ink makers, you find out, they were not upset by this at all because everybody's got pens, everybody gets to write. It's going to need if they can mass
More ink.
produce these things, more people will write, which is going to mean they get to sell more ink. So they were on board for this new pen. Um, the Goose Breeders Association, they did not like that at all. Um, they thought the ink makers were rich enough; they don't need to make any more money. But if nobody's using quills, what are we gonna do? Not to
Yeah.
mention the eggs that the wives are trying to sell. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? It's not good. Um, because the scribes, they can always adapt themselves to these new pens. They can do it. But what about the goose market? It's gonna collapse. There's a huge market for quills in Zakarion, apparently. Paper manufacturers are supporting this pen. They love it. That more pen, more ink, more paper is going to be sold. Um, you come to the understanding that since universal literacy is a right of everyone, and that's something Zakarian believes, then paper is what everybody's going to need as well. Lots of paper. Um, and if need be, they could cut down the dark woods. There's a place nearby called the Dark Hill, the Dark Wood, because most of the woods are dark woods. That could be chopped down for more paper. You've also understand there's some druids that live in those woods. You find this out. This is all the shit that Fernando's finding out. All the gossip. They don't want the
Well,
woods chopped down. Obviously, these druids. No, no, they're against it. They don't like the idea of the pen. Deforestation. The whole area around here is already deforested. It's all farms with little tiny trees around. It's gonna cause problems. And if you deforest, then you're going to have problems with flooding and everything else that could happen off the river Zakar, which is the name of the river here, by the way. Um, Fernando, you've been learning about all this stuff that's been going on in town over this past week.
I will relay all this information though to Loren every
Okay,
night as
okay.
well.
So, um, the ink maker's warehouse gets vandalized. A bunch of the ink gets destroyed. You hear about a slaughter of geese and a farm outside of town by by masked men who terrorize the landowner and his family. Uh,
Someone killed a whole bunch of octopuses, octopi.
octopi. What are you talking about?
How isn't that how they get ink?
Oh, well, ink can be made from all kinds of substances too.
I know. I'm
This
just
ain't Minecraft. Um,
I actually I was like
yeah.
thinking like that's kind of how people got ink. I thought for a while, but
So, Sean, what about research? What else do you want to look into, or where else do you want to go? There's a lot of colleges in this city. There's a lot of libraries.
Yeah,
There's a library in the Pen and Ink. Isn't that what I call this place?
yeah.
Hold on.
page and pen.
Page and Pen. Yes, the Page and Pen. The Page and Pen also has a vast library downstairs. I mean, it's big, like thousands, hundreds of books. There's a nice reading room. Um, you meet some of the other nobility or rich people who have come from
Yeah,
other places who are here. Oh, ho, 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 you know, that kind of thing.
yeah.
Um, uh,
Oh,
there's a lot
yeah.
going on in Zakarian right now.
He would actually try to look into books on magic, trying to see if he could find something akin to what we believe Vanthus used.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, you can look into that. You can talk to them, to the men. Sorry, sages. These are men and
Yeah.
women. The sages at the hell, where is my little write up? I wrote up a little paragraph on everything. Ah, here we go. No, that's High District, Library District, the High Tower of Magical Knowledge. Um, that's a good question. They're willing to research that for you
Okay.
to try to see if like any of the books have anything like this. What did it do? Describe to
Uh,
me how you described to them what
uh,
happened.
well, I unfortunately or fortunately did not see it myself.
Well,
Um,
what was the result of it is what they need to know.
it sounds like the result was the remains of a human body with no bones,
Ah, that sounds awful.
just a blob of meat and flesh.
Hmm. Well, that probably wouldn't be in the Annals of Lang or the Book of Barzai. Um, he starts looking through some of these books with you, which is going to take some time.
Yep.
Um,
Do I need to make
no,
a
no, you're not.
library use?
No, no, because these aren't really. Ooh, yeah, you can make a library use. What the hell? Let me see if I can
Yeah.
find one that actually might have it. The fourth book of Dehausis doesn't appear to have it.
I got a hard success.
You got a
19.
hard success. Okay, hold on. Oh, here we go.
The book of gooey things.
The Scriptures of Keck have nothing. Testament of Lothran.
It's the book of gooey
The
things.
Book of Gooey Things. The Thirth Her Grimoire. Um, the Va'unk'inth Fragments. Um, the Yakara Tome. They do find some reference to this in the Yakara Tome. You do. Well, you
Okay.
don't. You're not really scanning these books. You can, but it's going to cost you sanity.
Vanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how you've looked through some of these books before, and it's been disturbing to you, I believe.
Yes.
So they have several tomes that can be looked at. Um, and one of the sages there has found something like it in the Yakaru tome, which basically, yeah, your bones just dissolve away.
Mm.
They're just gone. Um, it's not
Like,
hard to cast. It's hard to learn and hard to and that kind of thing, but it seems like a fairly simple, very fast um, process. You know what I mean?
Ugh.
Um, like a few words, not even a gesture, and it's done. Um, oh. He tells you how the target collapses to the floor in a heap of folded, quivering flesh. The victim might asphyxiate, lacking structure with which to keep the air passage clear, or to protect the lungs from being crushed, or, yeah, this sounds terrible, is what the man
That
says to you.
does not sound nice. Uh,
I heard a rumor that happened. I could not verify it,
yes, it seems this might have happened just the other day outside the city.
though. That's what I heard.
I did not see it firsthand. Again, thankfully. Um,
Okay.
but I do have reason to believe that the person who did it is coming after me.
Oh, dear.
So it's nice to know what might happen to me, but it's also kind of
Is it? Is it
not
really?
not comforting to know how easy it could be for it to happen to me.
Oh, yes. Actually, here, hold on. All of these people that work in this library look a little kind of crazy. Like, just a little, like, woo. Like they've read some stuff. They know
yeah.
some shit. Yeah, exactly. Oh.
Have you heard about the pink elephants? What
um,
the?
let's see. He does tell you, according to what he has read, they've got like a different guy in charge of each of these books, is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
So they're not. There's not, and then they could tell each other stuff without having to have read the
Going
book,
crazy.
and it does lower the whole like.
Okay.
Um, but it sounds like um, this is a spell that can be resisted, depending upon how strong the willpower of the victim is, and how strong the willpower of the spellcaster is. So basically, this is a power versus power check.
yeah. Fernando just screwed himself the last town they were in.
Oh no. Oh, this is gonna get very bad.
This isn't something you just
Actually,
does,
no.
and there's no roll, and your arms fall off or something like that.
Yeah.
The second to the last town he was in.
Yes, but all this research takes a while. Fernando's learned a bunch of information. He's been telling you about all the politics and shit that's going on in the city. There are pro Frickards. There are anti Frickards, basically. Um, People are just like, "Oh, this guy's the greatest." Other people are like, "This guy's the worst. He's gonna ruin us all." You know, that kind of thing. It's a bunch of politics and economics that are happening. Hello.
Oh. So you got my message, I hope?
I did. Yeah, that you're gonna be late.
Yeah. So here's me.
I hope your cat's okay.
Oh, the cat's fine. It was just a checkup.
Hooray.
So the deal was basically that the vet asked us if we would relocate almost 2 hours later, because
Yuck.
apparently they had more pressing cases.
That's okay.
So we said, okay, yeah, So I agreed to do it and then realized I just pushed everything back. Shit.
That's okay.
So,
Yeah, that's all
oops,
right.
sorry.
You
But
can
anyway,
still
here I
get,
am.
yeah, but they're going to have a lot of information to tell you if they remember
Okay.
any of it.
Nope, it's all
Did you
forgotten.
Son of a
did you
bitch.
see the character sheet I posted?
Yes, I have a copy of your character sheet, so that's safe. I went ahead and
Okay.
deleted it because nobody else really should be looking at it.
Oh, okay.
So next time, if you can do a PM to me if you want to send me a character sheet, that kind of thing, but that's fine. It's not a big deal. But that's why I
Oh,
went ahead and
yeah,
deleted that message.
that's
Didn't
fine.
want you to think anything was wrong with it. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I filled out some more detail.
awesome. Yeah, I saw a lot of detail in the back. I was real appreciative of that.
Yeah.
So you guys have been doing a lot. So now figure it all out, and then uh,
I'll be right back.
okay. So hold on.
Have that queued
I
up.
need to do some nickname changing here while I'm thinking about it.
Yep.
So, um,
And of course, me being me,
whoops.
some of those little things are, research details.
Yeah. I do way too much myself.
Yeah. Like for
Hold on. Yeah.
instance,
Okay, that worked.
Carroll Park was the original ball ground for the Excelsior.
Change nickname. But
So,
for oh damn it. Hold on just a sec.
mhm.
Kevin, what's your last name? Oh, there it
Kreiner.
is. I can see it.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm just trying to change your nickname in here. So we've got
Okay. I
character
see you.
names plus people's handles or whatever they want. If you want me to change your handle,
Oh, I don't care.
okay,
I
there we
think
go.
my default is Dr. Kreiner, so I really don't
Okay,
care.
so there, so that's gonna help me at least with names and that kind of thing. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So you have come to the city of Zakarion, the abalone and mother of pearl city of Zakarion. If you want to look in the Down Darker Trails gaming in gaming text Down Darker Trails, there's an illustration just to kind of give you a feel for the city, and there's also a map of the city. You'll be able to see
Okay.
the map better if you open it in your browser. It's
Okay.
actually
Hang on.
pretty big.
Let me.
Um,
Where are we going? Where am I going here?
Gaming text Down Darker Trails. That's where I'm going to put all the official stuff. Um,
Okay.
the random in-game chat stuff is if you guys want to write stuff to each other or
Okay.
comment on my terrible GMing or whatever you want to say. You can do it in there, like "What the hell was that?" or put it if you want during games. I've done that before.
World info.
Yeah, keep going down.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Zakarion is a
Um.
large city on a river.
So where am I? Hang on. Pardon me. Where am I looking again?
Gaming text
In
Down Darker
gaming
Trails,
text.
all the
Okay.
way.
There. I
Yes, the
see.
second
I
one.
see it.
It's all the way at the bottom of that.
Yep. And
And
I'm
that's the
opening it in the
city of
browser.
Zakarion. Yeah, if you open it in your browser, you'll be able to see it much better.
Yeah. So.
There are some numerals and numbers and listings of things in the city. Not all of them. Most of them are correct for like a number. A couple of them are wrong. I found this online and I just decided to make it my own.
Oh, that's fine. Okay. So it's a port city
Yes,
with a river bisecting it.
correct. Um, and when you come to the city, we're going to say you came from kind of the north, um, and you end up going to the nearest gate, which is on the hill. The city rises up to the north. There's a great palace at that end, and you're asked by what appears to be a scribe or a clerk. They've got a stylus and a quill and a little bottle of ink that's connected to the stylus, and they're asked, "What do you wish to declare anything?"
I don't believe so.
Oh, very well. And then they just kind of look on to the next person coming in, and they're asking this of everybody who's coming into the city.
Okay. I'll actually walk away slowly and listen for a moment.
Yeah, somebody says, "Oh yes, I recently learned," and he starts telling about some kind of farming thing that, like certain types of fertilizer, certain types of fertilizer, like a certain type of bird leaves the fertilizer, and he's found that works very well with a certain type of plant. And this clerk is, oh, very good for it, and he's writing it down. Um,
Okay.
and
So I thought this was a customs house.
no, 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 it's just a gate. It's
No.
a main gate to a city. All these gates are
Yeah.
wide
No. No. I
open.
mean, the guy is asking if I'm declaring anything. I
Right.
assumed he was a customs officer.
No, well, it looked like he was a
No. Apparently,
scribe.
when he's collecting data.
Yeah, and you actually see
Okay.
some money change hands with the man. He's like, "Oh, that's very interesting. Yes, yes." And a couple gold coins are slipped into this man's hand. He's thanked profusely. The sage makes a note of it and makes sure that he has the man's name, and also says something about others. Now, make sure you must know. I don't know if you wish to hang around long enough to hear him talk to tell this guy anything more or not. That's up to you.
I'm walking away slowly.
Okay, you
I'm not.
overhear.
Like I've got. I'll stop taking the sights. So I'm
Okay,
listening, but
yeah.
I'm doing more like I'm looking around, deciding which direction I'm going from
As
here.
money changes hands, the scribe reminds this man, this it looks like a maybe a farmer, that lying in Zakarion is considered a capital offense. For misinformation is the greatest of crimes. And the man just nods. He doesn't. He when you glance back, the man's just nodding. He doesn't look real nervous about it, like he might have just made up some shit to get some cash. Um, but you find yourself in a beautiful part of the city. There is actually there is a large inn right nearby called the let's see called the Page and Pen Inn. This place looks very plush,
Okay.
like really nice. The main street heads down towards the palace. You can see that, and you can't help but notice a man loitering out front of the I cannot remember the name of this, the Page and Pen. I named this inn and I cannot keep it in my head. Um, Loitering out front, wearing fine clothing, who has darker
Maybe
skin.
playing a lute.
Oh yeah, he's playing a lute. That's a great idea, Aaron. There's a guy up front. He's just like playing on a lute. Um, People are around. Oh, how nice, how droll,
So
that kind of
a
thing.
street. It's a street performer.
He's really dressed nice for just a street performer. A lot of street performers are dressed more garish than nice. This guy's got like gold threads in his clothing, and he's dressed very nicely. He's got darker skin. He looks kind of Hispanic. He's got a little mustache, and actually he starts singing, and you recognize, you don't
No.
understand.
He
Oh, he
doesn't
doesn't
sing. He
sing.
does,
Okay,
no,
okay.
he doesn't
He's
sing.
just playing, but you recognize the song, and it sounds like something that you once heard played by like a band from like a mariachi band. And unlike any of the music you've heard in the Dreamlands up to this point.
Huh. So this is like the first thing I've encountered in however long I've been here.
Yeah, how
That
long have you been
feel
here?
not a
When
clue.
you came out of the giant tree in the enchanted forest,
Yeah.
and instead of going right, or instead of you left the enchanted forest with the noises of the zoogs all around. But you ended up on a river, and instead of going right downstream, you decided to go left, and so you end up going around this mountain before you found farms, and you found farms along the way, and people are like, yes, the city of Zakarion, they have all the answers in the world. They're a city of sages, and you're like, well, that sounds interesting.
It's a place. It's the only place whose name I know.
Yes, and so you came, and
So
here you are. You're at the
it
city of
becomes a
Zakarion.
destination because
Yep,
I don't know anywhere else to go.
that sounds good. And so you've met
But
lots of
honestly,
farmers, and you've hit little small towns along the way, like villages, tiny villages, and
yeah.
people have been
And
very kind to you.
I'm honestly not sure how long I've been here. That's the thing about dream travel.
Yes, it is. It is a little strange, but maybe a week, maybe two, maybe
Could be a
three,
week. I
something
don't know.
like that. So yeah,
And
but you do
if anything,
recognize.
I'm learning not to trouble myself with the details.
All right, and you do recognize this. I mean, you recognize this music as something that you've heard before in the waking world.
Familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first familiar thing I've encountered in however long I've been here.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, I'll stop and join the crowd who's listening.
There's about 5 or 6 people. They all appear to be pretty well dressed merchants or possibly lower nobility, and they're all just kind of watching this man play. He doesn't have anything to collect money or anything,
No.
so he's not like a street performer because there'd be a hat or a cup
Yeah,
or something there. Um, and the people are like, oh, he's so good, oh, he's so good.
and
Yeah,
I'll also join in and applaud, when it's appropriate.
yeah, Aaron, you can make me a
Perform.
thank you.
Oh, I did really well. I want to see whether it's an extreme or not. Yeah, it's an extreme success.
So he's doing riffs like that kind of thing, what you would do on a lute, but it does it again remarkably familiar music to you.
So
Of
he's playing a lute, which is the
hmm
wrong kind of instrument for this, but he's
yeah,
playing it like a
like his
mariachi guitar.
yes, correct. That is exactly correct. He's playing a lute like a guitar and doing an
Okay, that's
excellent job
okay.
with it.
I'm kind of drawn into that. I'm gonna stay
Okay,
with
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. So after a little while, the crowd disperses, or he stops playing, and um, you can't dream yourself up a cigarette, Aaron. Is that what you were
No,
trying
no, no, no,
to?
no. I was gonna see if I spotted like this guy like really notice like I don't know noticing me,
Intently
but
looking at you.
yeah, but I
Um,
rolled 100, so I didn't catch a damn.
oh,
There's probably a pretty woman in the
yes, there's
crowd that
definitely a
I was
pretty woman in the
totally
crowd who's giving you the
looking.
eye.
Yeah.
So
And I didn't push my way to the front, so I'm probably
no,
halfway behind
so
someone else.
so when he stops playing, the crowd kind of just slowly disperses. People go on their way. It's like mid afternoon, and
Okay.
um, everyone is dressed really nicely. What does your character look like, Alonzo?
Oh, okay. So
Is it
you've
Shaeder?
seen I chose an image there for you,
Yes, I saw the picture.
so you can see that.
But
Um,
what does he look like in the dream worlds? In the dreamland? Dreamlands.
well, his he looks best guess, at least those who see him. He looks a bit like a knight.
Okay.
He's wearing a chain armored shirt
hmm
with a blue and red striped surcoat that almost looks like an American flag.
Oh, okay.
Red trousers over black boots with
hmm
white spats.
Okay.
Uh, elaborate,
White spats.
slightly curved sword with a bell grip.
Okay.
Chain coif, which is currently draped around his neck like more like a scarf at the moment. It's warm to wear,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's easier to drape it around my neck than carry it.
Okay.
And at this point, it probably has either a rucksack or a shoulder bag
Gotcha.
with some stuff that I've been needing when I've needed to camp.
So
So basically, equipment for making a primitive camp.
so Jimenez, you definitely when the crowd kind of disperses, you definitely recognize this motif to his surcoat of almost the stars and stripes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enough
Oh,
that it
and
that it strikes you. Like
the other thing to notice is, you know what the 1,000 yard stare is.
Yeah. Yeah.
he's got that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's probably the most noticeable thing about it.
I've seen some things, man, and some stuff. Yeah.
So there
Um.
you go. The two of you are still standing there, unless either one of you wishes to leave or whatever you want to do.
Well, I was probably gonna drift off a bit with the crowd,
Okay.
unless something else catches my attention. Because that was a cool
Um.
performance, but there's also other things to see in this
Yeah,
city.
there's a
I
lot to
I
see.
imagine.
I probably say you gentlemen in the night.
I'll stop a
Could you
moment.
come here a moment, please?
It'll take me a long minute to realize you're talking to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If I have to come up to him and like you, sir, like and tap you on the shoulder, he will.
Yeah,
So,
and then I'll take 2 steps back.
all
Like
right,
I was basically 2 steps away to realize he's
right.
talking about me. Oh wait, I guess I do look like a knight. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah,
He has a very distinct Mexican accent. This
You
man.
do.
wonderful
You're
performance.
you're not from here, are you?
No,
Um,
arrived actually within the hour, I think, or within the day, most likely.
to Zakarion here, or here,
Yes.
or
Um,
he.
well, I passed the gates of Zakarion recently, probably this very afternoon. In fact, thinking, I believe your performance was the first thing in the city that caught my eye.
As well, what you're wearing caught my eye as well. It seemed familiar. Um, More from like where I'm from.
Hmm. That seems. I was about to say unlikely, but now I'm not certain. Oh, actually, I want to add one more little detail. The bag he's carrying
Mm-hmm.
has a brass clasp on it
Okay.
that's got the number 14.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Um, what would you say if I told you this was all a dream?
I would agree with you.
I think you should have dinner with a friend of mine. We're just staying inside here. You're more than welcome to stay with us if you'd like.
Well, it's as good a place as any. I thank you for the invitation. My
So
name's Shaeder. My name's Shaeder, by the way.
I am
Alonzo Shaeder.
I am Fernando Jimenez.
It's nice to meet you, Mr. Menace.
Please come inside. Join me for a drink.
And I'll happily do so.
There is a very nice tap room here, and you actually find that inside this inn, the inn is very large, several stories tall. There's actually a library. There is a very nice reading. There are reading rooms here, in addition to a tap room that serves all kinds of different liquors, um, beers, ales, wines from across the Dreamlands. This place is posh. It is
And
very
as I
obviously very expensive.
and out loud, as I would say, I'm not surprised to see that a city that values knowledge combines a library with a tap room. That
There's books
I'm just glad.
everywhere.
logic
I'm just glad they
logic
have it.
is
I'm just
excellent.
glad they have a tap room. And so I flashed my platinum
Yeah.
piece or whatever to
He
the
pulls out this.
barkeep in it.
It looks like a little bar of platinum with some writing on it, and he kind of holds it up. And the
And
barkeep.
I
You
just
don't even have to show this guy anymore if you don't want to. The guy
oh,
nods
okay.
like, yeah, yeah, I know.
All
And
right.
he gets you your favorite drink that you've been having every.
Well, I was gonna be like two for
Yeah,
like for
he gets
all
two
right.
drinks, pushes them across. What are you drinking, Fernando?
I don't know, wine, whatever a
Wine,
good
yeah,
wine that
some wine.
there is.
Sweet, sour, dry,
Um,
white,
well,
red. Paint me a picture.
semis. Yeah. So yeah, let's
A rosé.
go. No, I don't know whether rosé would be something that would be invented yet or not. Um, it'd
It's
probably
just a
be
mix of white and red.
red, maybe semi-sweet, semi-dry, like a Sauvignon Blanc, or not
Okay.
Blanc,
Yeah.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay. Yeah. You're given a glass of very fine wine. I don't know if your character likes wine, Mr. Shader. Um,
Um, I'm
it's
not
taste.
adverse to it.
Yeah.
I don't know much about wine, but I certainly know how to enjoy a glass of it.
Tastes okay. Yeah.
Well, this is the kind of thing where I come from, where you ask the waiter. But what wine goes with this? I don't know. Ask the waiter. That's his job to know these
Well, this
things.
guy's just given you guys two glasses of wine and gone on about his little business.
So, what brings you to Zakarion?
It was the only place whose name I knew.
How did you come about to know about Zakarion?
Well, I found myself exiting a tree of all things, which inclines one to believe one is dreaming.
I would say normally I would say that would seem suspicious, but there is quite many um fantastical things I have seen.
Well, you yourself said this was like unto a dream, so it didn't surprise me. And then I more or less picked a direction and followed it until those I met spoke of a place called Zakarion. And as it was the only place whose name I knew, by the logic of a dream, it seemed a place I ought to go to, if one can apply logic to dreams.
Okay. Yeah. Um.
So,
So
are you dreaming too then?
yes, I am here with my friend Loren Hutton.
Who
He
coincidentally
is.
walks in the front door around that point.
Here he is now.
Hutton, you're coming back from looking at those weird books
Yep.
what the hell's the name of the place? At the High Tower of Magical Knowledge. Um, little disturbed. This was when they finally found that information that you were looking for about that spell. Um, so you're not, you didn't lose sanity or anything, but you're like, ugh.
Yeah. Ooh.
And what does your character look like?
Mm.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I described Aaron for you because I wasn't sure how soon you would figure out it was a player character, but yeah.
Tall, white male, early 20s, slightly overweight, not bad, but definitely looks like, he's well fed.
He hasn't missed with dessert.
I like that world
No.
play, by the way. Guys.
He has very nice clothing, similar to what you've probably seen as you pass through the city, especially as you got closer and closer to the high neighborhood.
He didn't pass through the city.
Yeah,
though.
he hasn't.
Oh.
He's barely been here.
Yeah.
Clothing
So
like
what do
everybody
peop-
he's seen. It resembles the other people you've seen.
Okay.
so what do people wear? Do they wear like robes or tunics or suits?
The clerk that asked if you had anything to declare had a robe and a flat hat. Not like a real like a Renaissance era mortarboard. Basically, those came up. And
So an old student's hat.
Yes. The people that were watching Fernando play were wearing it's kind of a nice coat that's kind of open, has buttons. It's probably not meant to actually close. It's just kind of like there for the look. Fairly tight pantaloons. Um, uh, Maybe knee-high boots. Most people only have a dagger that you've seen on them. You haven't seen any weapons. Although this gentleman has a scimitar on his belt.
Yes.
Not a saber, a scimitar. Definitely like an Arabian-looking scimitar. And
Oh, is that what my sword turned into?
No. Saber is still a legitimate weapon, I believe, for this land. But he has a scimitar, which is a different kind of a style of the sword. I mean, they're all swords. They're going to cut people to pieces.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about my sword or his?
No, his.
Oh,
The gentleman who came in, who's dressed like people in this area.
Yeah.
You think like
Yeah.
real nice clothes, some gold trim,
the
and that
open
kind of
style
stuff.
coat, pantaloons, that
Yeah,
kind of
open
thing.
style coat, and but he has a sword on his belt. He is not wearing any armor.
Okay.
And I think anything else that's different, Sean, or that stands out.
My sheet real quick.
Since you guys kind of bought clothes,
Something
so
that
you
he
blend
would
in a little.
maybe kept.
Yeah. So he's also the only other person I've seen who's wearing a sword.
Yes. So far, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
nothing out of the ordinary.
Fernando, you're not armed right now, are you?
No.
Okay.
Or
That's what I thought.
at least not visibly.
No, yeah, he's
No.
wearing
He probably has
nice
a knife or something on his belt.
nice clothing that definitely looks like it matches more of like the locals than anything else. He has a scimitar. The other thing you would definitely notice is that he limps with his left leg.
Yeah. Come to think of it, I probably have a knife somewhere as well.
Yeah, you do. You were given one by the priests that you ran into when you first came here.
Okay. Yeah, I
It's
suspect
just
mine.
utilitarian.
Yeah, I suspect mine is more akin to a Bowie knife.
That
In
works.
fact, it may actually be a proper
And
Bowie.
he's probably a little pale in the face from the day.
He looks a little worried. You've seen that look on people before.
Yeah, well, I walk around looking like that all the time.
So yeah, did you heard the description that the Shaeder, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
yeah. And by the way,
There we go.
when I'm sitting, I lose the 1,000 yard stare. Instead, my eyes tend to move a lot.
They
Looking
start
around.
darting.
Yeah, like it can be a little disconcerting to talk because my eyes don't. I don't stay focused on eye contact. My eyes tend to move a lot.
Okay, I like that.
That's not something I've even noticed. You'll notice it sitting across the table.
Right,
I'm not sure I'm aware of it.
right. You're
That's fine.
involuntarily doing it, but
Yeah.
Okay. And Jimenez just called you over, Hutton.
I'm gonna go join him.
So this is the gentleman you were waiting for, then.
yes, this is my traveling companion, Mr. Loren Hutton.
I'll stand up. Alonzo Shaeder. Pleasure to meet you.
Sorry, first name was
Alonzo.
Alonzo Schrader.
It's my grandfather's name.
Mr. Hutton is the reason why I am here.
Oh,
Yeah, in a roundabout way. I mean,
feels like a story.
long story short, I rented a room above a newspaper. I had dreams of a old man and a cat. And eventually the cat told me to drink some vials of liquid, and we ended up here.
In Zakarion.
Well, in the
No.
Dreamlands.
Oh. So did you enter through a tree as well?
No.
No.
Yes.
We entered.
Yes, you did.
Did we?
You went into the Cavern of Flame. You met
Yes.
Ashton.
Yes.
And then you
Yep.
went down more steps, and you came out of a big oak tree in the Enchanted Forest. And then you saw that weird guy who was like that dude standing out in the forest trying to get you guys to come off the path that you were warned not to leave the path.
Right. Yeah, I remember that part.
So
That's been so long ago in the Dreamlands, too.
Yeah, it's been like
Yeah, now that you mention it,
2
yeah, we
months,
did come
over
out
2
of a
months.
tree.
well, then here's what might be a strange question, but I feel like I ought to ask it. Where are you in the real world? When you wake from the stream, where are you?
Salt Marsh.
Yeah, we're in. It's not a state yet. Northwest Territory?
Washington Territory.
Washington Territory.
Well, then maybe this was meant to be.
Where are you?
Seattle.
Oh. Wasn't
Yes.
Isabel
Yes.
from Seattle?
Yes.
We have a young woman who's been traveling with us as well, and she's currently getting some medical care. Our road to Zakarion was not the friendliest.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. But so how did you get here?
By dreaming.
Like you just started dreaming that you were here?
I fell asleep, and I dreamt, and when I woke, I suppose I didn't wake. That is to say, I suspect I'm still dreaming. In that, how can I explain this?
But you didn't take anything to help you dream. You just
Dreamed.
went to sleep on your own.
Oh, well, there's no point in making any bones of that. I'm actually not precisely sure what I used. I bought
Okay.
it from a gentleman in San Francisco.
Oh, those
He
men in San Francisco, you there. Not
He
all of them
described-
can be trusted.
Well, he described it as a lotus concoction.
Can I try
Specifically,
a natural world just by any chance to think
Did
of
he-
what that could potentially be?
No, but I'll take a Cthulhu Mythos.
Oh, that doesn't matter. What's the
I will roll that.
Oh, wait. I had a bout of madness, right?
I will not
Don't I
pass
get
Oh
that.
Cthulhu
shit! You
Mythos?
did have a bout of madness. You flipped out. Yeah, you get 5 points of Cthulhu Mythos.
So I do have Cthulhu Mythos
You do now, and you also get 2 points of Dream Lore
Oh, okay.
because
All
your
right.
Dream Lore will be half your. Well, when you get points of Cthulhu Mythos,
I gotcha.
you get Dream Lore.
Oh.
So you got 2%.
I was
so
so
now if you
close,
didn't have it.
but I did not make it.
Did not make it.
well, how about that?
Are there 12 coins in play?
No, they're not. So Kevin,
Hmm.
I have these coins. Everybody starts with 1, and as you guys role play and do things that help the story, that kind of thing, I'll add coins to your little shot
Okay.
glass here, and you can use those like using luck points. Because I'm not a big fan of the burning luck. I hate it actually. I just don't care for that rule. You guys can also combine your coins if you want someone to actually succeed. Right now, Kevin has 3. Loren Hutton has
Okay.
4. And no, Loren Hutton has 2, and Fernando has 4.
Okay.
You can also, like, if you think somebody does something that's really cool or clever or great role play, you can say, "Oh, that deserves a coin," and if I agree, I'll check it in there, and usually I'm going to agree. So it's just a little way that we kind of I fake using the luck rules, but I just
It
never really
encourage
I never
it
really cared for it.
encourages role. Your version
Well,
encourages role play.
that's what I try to
It
do
does.
is to encourage role play and encourage
Right.
So
Interaction.
yeah.
You basically took a drug?
More than basically. That's precisely how it worked.
So
Okay. Well,
you essentially got here the same way we did.
Oh, well. So you didn't just dream yourself into this?
No. We
we willingly drank
we drank some vials that a cat told me that we should drink.
I don't mean to sound the wrong way here, but
I know
if
exactly
a
what
cat
you mean
told
to
you
say.
to drink it, perhaps you were already on drugs?
No, well,
You see where I'm going with this.
no, I absolutely understand. I dreamt the cat, and then I saw the cat in the waking world.
Ah,
And then we saw the cat here.
so the cat is also capable of being in both places.
It would seem. I mean, where we came from in Ulthar, cats are. They seem almost like not. I don't want to say sacred. They don't worship the cats, but they seem to be better protected than the people.
I do believe I heard of Ulthar.
Somebody message.
I just moved a couple things around.
So yeah, we came because the old man who was appearing in my isn't a good person as far as we can tell. I mean, he supported the South during the Civil War. We know that. I know that much.
Well, that's already
I
a
don't
problem.
know if I don't want to assume you supported the North, but you know.
I supported the United States of America. You may
Yeah,
not merely assume that. I'm quite proud of it.
But also turns out he is a distant uncle of mine.
That creates a problem.
And we're trying to find him and remove him from the Dreamlands.
I see.
Like that's the simplest version I can say is the cat who came to me does not want him in the Dreamlands anymore. He is a danger.
Well, given this man's history, that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
The sort of a man who would support such a cause.
I mean, where we were at, he was kind of considered dead. So,
When did he die?
I don't think I know that.
Like 20 years ago.
Okay, 20 years. Like,
No, not that long. 10 or 15 years ago, during the war.
it was sometime during the war.
You don't know
Remember,
when.
He was found dead. You probably have that date. I think it was 1862.
Okay. Yeah, no, I do have
Ish.
deceased owner of the local paper. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know where he died?
It would have been it was in Salt Marsh, which is a town in the Washington Territory.
Okay, so not in the war itself.
That's correct.
Oh no,
That's
he was the previous owner of the paper that I lived above.
Yes. Very good.
Okay.
Well,
is it possible that his ghost is still here? I mean,
it might
if this is a dream, then certainly a ghost might be a thing.
He's a ghost here. We really don't know. I don't think we've really encountered anything about ghosts.
Perhaps this is the only place where he's able to stay alive.
He may have found a way to stay in the Dreamlands, but his body died. I mean, Fernando and I and the others at Isabella. I mean, we're also forgetting Hazard.
Oh yes, we are forgetting Hazard.
We don't even know where Mr. Hazard is.
I hate to think this, but perhaps the Zoogs got him.
Well, then hopefully he woke up.
Right.
But
Mr. Hazard, I take it, was another such dreamer.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Hazard's another dreamer that came with us.
Oh.
You may have heard of him. He owns a I would assume profitable arms company.
Have I ever heard of them?
If you want.
Well, these days, supply and quartermaster is basically what I do.
Yeah, Hazard Arms is a very big company. It competes with Colt, competes with a lot of the other major gun industries. It is thought to be slightly inferior but fancier guns. The government does not have contracts with Hazard Arms anymore, but you've heard of it, and you believe that during the Civil War, Hazard Arms supplied weaponry for the United States of America. There are rumors, vague rumors, and there was never any proof that that the company also sold weapons to the Confederacy. Two of his first factories were in Georgia and Virginia, but though he was from Philadelphia, and then later on, factories were built during and after the war further north.
Yeah, I've heard of the man.
And actually, there was something in the newspaper recently that his Georgia factory was destroyed, burned to the ground by disgruntled workers. Actually, all this is coming back. Does your character read the newspaper?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Something about you recall vaguely a few weeks ago some newspaper stories, maybe a couple months ago. You're not sure exactly when, about a Confederate commerce raider being captured by some people, including William Hazard of Hazard Arms. Although the Confederates on board, or the men on board who were thought to have been Confederate soldiers who never surrendered, escaped.
Oh. So he's one of the gentlemen associated with the Hazard Arms Company. The Army doesn't do business with them any longer.
He's not associated. He is Hazard Arms.
Well, the Army, does not do business with him any longer.
Yeah.
And I understand he was involved in some acts of piracy.
Well,
He wasn't.
he wasn't a pirate.
He uncovered.
He with
yeah. Fernando was there for
with-
that one. Yeah.
for part of it. He with
Yeah.
myself and some others, and Fernando for a part of it. Found out the mysteries that were going on around the city of Saltmarsh, the town of Saltmarsh.
This involved pirates in some way?
There was a ship and people who, if you look at it that way, yes, we're pirates.
There's no other way. There's no other proper way to look at it.
I mean, they were acting outside the law and they were on a ship.
Therefore, piracy.
The fantasy books, they were pirates.
Wait, is that the ship we took to that tower?
Yes.
Loren didn't go then. He didn't go to the
No.
tower.
That's what you all took and went with Mr. Dempsey.
Oh, yeah.
I was unwell at the moment.
So clearly there's a lot of history here.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, you've had to have heard of the Big Willie. So.
What was the Big Willie? I can't remember what the Big
That was
Willie
the Gatling gun.
The Gatling
was
gun.
it the Gatling? Oh, that's right. Okay. You have heard of the Big Willie. It was the nickname applied to the Hazard Gatling gun that because his name was William Hazard, a lot of people started calling it the Big Willie. It started to catch on. Hazard, from your recollection, never cared for that name for his gun.
The Big Willie.
Well, it is demeaning.
Yeah.
No, I do recall one of those. Spotsylvania, I think. Damn thing didn't work wasn't worth a goddamn nickel, to be honest. And the poor devils who had to cart it to the battlefield.
I've never used a hazard. In the waking world, I'm not much, but my upbringing allowed me some training.
I'm doing a quick look around, seeing if there's anyone else like listening in on our conversation.
People are starting to wander in as it's getting later in the day, sitting down to eat, that kind of thing. Nobody's paying any particular mind to the three of you at this time.
Okay.
That you can see.
All right. Not that maybe I would be able to tell per se, but it's just a thought that popped in my head.
No, that's okay. You just you look around.
Yeah.
So
it's just
you,
typical people.
I've been doing that the whole time.
Yeah, that's
right.
true. He's been just
All of these people look alike to me anyway, so unless someone is doing something overtly threatening, or well, let me rephrase that. If someone is doing something overtly threatening, or if someone reaches for a thing in the wrong way.
None of the people in here are armed except for the two of you. For
The point is,
Shaeder
like, if
and
someone,
Hutton.
Yeah.
for instance, my eyes will stop moving and focus if someone takes something out of a pocket.
Oh yeah.
And will stay there until I've confirmed it's not a weapon.
Yep. Nobody seems to be drawing any weapons, so.
Yeah, things like that.
Mr. Shaeder, are you from Seattle originally?
No.
May I ask where you are from originally?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Oh.
Keep going. I'll be right back.
I wanted a posting farther from home.
So you're a member of the United States Army?
Yes. Still.
Okay.
It was a job. Not what I would have preferred, but
I hail from Chicago. Originally.
Never been. Here it's quite impressive.
So you
known some folks who visited. They were taken with the place.
It's a fine city.
Well, perhaps one day.
So I'm still trying to get around. So you're just you took something and came here. This
Yes.
is just chance.
That's why I was inquiring as to whether I'd crossed paths with any of these other fellows before.
Okay.
Because dream logic suggests that more than chance works.
Well,
So if the fellow you're looking for was a Confederate sympathizer, I wondered if
that
I'd ever
might
cross
be.
paths with it. I mean,
That
it makes
might
as much sense as anything.
that it's better than nothing.
That's my point. But no, I honestly, I don't truly understand the chemistry of the lotus extract, nor what it does. It does contain an admixture of opium. Of that, I'm fully aware. But ordinary opium, even proper Chinese tar, has never had this effect. I mean, one dreams, certainly.
I honestly
But
would not know.
I've never encountered other people in an opium dream.
Well,
At least not people with their own realized history.
It seems like what we thought would maybe. I think we're dreaming differently than we normally would.
That has to be the case.
This is not a dream of your mother yelling at you because you left your shoes on the nice carpet or something. This is whatever we took sent us to another world.
That's as good a theory as any I've got.
Honestly, we might, Fernando, at some point, we might want to look into what the dream world is. Like, does the dream world know it's a dream world? Is this just another reality?
We've heard of people like referring to this place as the dream world, haven't we, Andy?
It's called the Dreamlands.
Yes,
That's what people have called it.
And they recognize that there are people who are dreamers.
Yes, from the waking world.
So this is a shared dream experience, unlike a conventional dream.
Would that not?
But there's people that's lived here their entire lives.
Yeah, there are people who are just here.
Exist only in this.
Well, maybe it's a flip of one of the other. You know the parable of Lao Tzu?
No.
Lao Tzu dreamed he was a butterfly. And he woke and he said, I dreamed I was a butterfly. Or perhaps I was a butterfly and I'm dreaming I am a man called Lao Tzu.
Is there something I can roll for that?
Do you have philosophy?
He's a Chinese scholar.
I'm not familiar with the Chinese scholars. I've always been a little bit more infatuated with the natives of the Americas.
They're incredibly varied.
I went west following stories of a creature known as the Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm. This is found in Native American tales?
Especially in the Northwest. Oh. Of a large human-like creature covered in hair. Similar to stories of the Yeti.
So perhaps some form of an orangutan?
That's what people have said, but it not as clumsy.
Well, orangutans are hardly clumsy.
Well,
they're even capable of manipulating tools.
Not as he's sitting, he trying to kind of like not as like this.
Yeah, they are strangely proportioned.
Yes, it's more of like a. I'm sure with you being from the Americas, you've probably seen carnivals and sideshows and extremely large men just imagine one very hairy.
I don't have to imagine
completely
extremely
covered
large.
in hair.
I met several.
Yeah, it's
There was one fellow.
It is
Bron-
it's good to find other dreamers.
Yeah.
So
There was a fellow I knew, Bronson, I think was his name, who was
Yes,
easily 6.5 feet.
I will say, maybe try not to be too open that you are a dreamer.
yeah,
Oh,
We have learned there may be people who may seek interest in you just
Yeah,
based off the fact that you're a
we-
dreamer.
unfortunately passed into the path of, for lack of a better word, bandits that were actually hired to capture Mr. Jimenez and myself and our other traveling companions because he had heard we were a dreamer.
so
But
they're
these
native.
bandits killed an entire village except for 2 small children.
Yeah. Speaking of, Fernando, where are the kids?
In their rooms.
Okay.
I'm
It's-
assuming.
It's a lot
We
to take.
unfortunately
Yeah.
have 2 orphans with us.
Are they dreamers as well?
No, they
No.
are born and raised in the Dreamland.
So they're as real or not as this place chances to be.
You know,
Yes.
now that I think of it, this really makes me think that was there a first dreamer? And everything we are dreaming within is
You're
their
get-
dream?
You are getting too
I
well,
know, Fernando.
what is the word? Too knowledgeable for something for me to have a opinion on that
Metaphysical.
matter.
I mean, it
believe
would
the
just.
word was metaphysical.
I'm trying to think this as logically. If the Dreamlands are the Dreamlands, and the people know they are a part of a dream, someone had to dream them up.
Or perhaps it's a collective thing. Perhaps this place is the collective unconsciousness of a million men.
It now makes me wonder: have the Dreamlands always been, or did one person or multiple people?
Perhaps
dream
you
them-
could find that answer in the library.
I'm very interested in that idea now.
Hmm.
I'm afraid of learning the truth a little bit, though, as well.
What purpose would it serve you in any case?
I would know more.
Fair enough.
I mean, it would be nice to know that. I would hate to have innocent people. I don't want to make the mistake and remove the wrong dreamer.
But you do seek to remove him, then.
The Wizard Wilkes we do seek to remove. But at the same time, if he's the initial dreamer of the Dreamlands, which I think there would be more information on him if there was.
So who is this man? I mean, who is this man?
The Wizard Wilkes. That's the man I told you about. He was a Confederate sympathizer.
He's a
How
Democrat.
he ended up. Yeah.
And he calls himself a wizard.
Well, here he's known as the Wizard Wilkes. Where we were at, he's known just as Lucian Wilkes. And he's dead.
So perhaps his ghost.
His
died.
Ghost, or maybe not a ghost, his consciousness has figured out a way to live in the dream world when his physical body does not.
You just described what most people imagine a ghost to be.
Yes, but ghosts appear in the waking world.
Well, perhaps that's just this dreamland bleeding into the waking world a moment.
It might very well be.
And here, these ghosts are solid and real as any man.
No, you're. Unfortunately, there is, not much fact based in ghosts.
No, not at all. I'm speculating. That's the point.
Oh.
Knowing nothing, I'm
Was that Aaron?
coming to no conclusion.
Jimenez gestured towards someone who a few
More
moments
drink.
later brings wine. You're also asked if you wish to. Would you like dinner, gentlemen?
Yes. I would like to purchase dinner for my new friend, Mr. Shaeder.
Of course, of course.
Well, thank you.
And he asks what everyone wishes. He basically recites a few different types of foods that are available currently in the kitchen, or of course, we could have something special made if you have anything specific that you wish. There's some fish.
Jimenez is like,
There's some
I would like
beef.
chili rellenos, to tacos. And they're like, what the hell are you talking about?
It's basic medieval / Renaissance type food is what he describes to you.
Whatever's in the kitchen is fine.
Yeah, I would be fine with a hearty stew, some bread and cheese.
I don't want
Yes,
to
of
put this guy in
course.
any more trouble.
He leaves, and after a few more moments, they return with food, like loaf of bread that's partially cut, a board with several different cheeses on it. This is some Alonzo. You've been eating farmer's stew. I don't know if you have been using your. It's up to you if you wanted to try to use your dreaming power. If he even knows he has it yet, it's entirely
He
up to
does
you.
not.
Okay,
He does not.
so
No.
you've been living off the land. What you can kill, or you've probably been like, yeah, I'll chop some wood for you if I can spend the night in your barn, and they bring you a bucket with some food in it and maybe some milk, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
As you've worked
I
your
also
way
can
along.
remember. I can remember camping at various points too.
Camping, yes, and camping and living off the land, roots, berries, maybe some
Mhm.
rabbit or something that you were able to somehow kill. So
There.
this is something.
Yeah.
This meal even has salt in it. Whoa.
Ooh.
So and spices and that kind of thing. And you know what though, Loren and Fernando, as good as it's been here at the uh, Page and Pen, um, man, Valrus, man, his food was good. You still remember how good his food was?
Yeah.
It was amazing. So anyway, so it's a
Must be
very
all the
it's a
bone marrow
it,
he
it's a lot
extracted from people.
a lot of good it's a lot of good food has been presented you. And yeah,
Uh,
it's here for, and you guys can just take whatever you want
Okay.
So,
of what they've brought you.
just to be clear, though, this man Wilkes died years ago.
yeah, I mean, it was long before any of us came to Saltmarsh that in the town of Saltmarsh he is known to have been dead for like a decade.
Hmm.
Because
I never honestly I never looked at the local graveyard for
No,
a headstone.
you never did.
I just kind of I mean, look, he had a newspaper in town and now it's under the ownership of somebody else. The whole town says he died.
you never checked. Why would you?
There's no
Everybody,
reason to.
precisely.
Everybody in
No,
town says he's dead.
the reason for my question was the title of wizard. I've also heard of somewhere else,
Okay. Where at?
primarily Tennessee originally.
Oh, okay. I want to do a.
You're a journalist, Sean. You probably know about the Klan
Yeah,
and that
so-
kind
You're
of thing.
speaking of
Yeah, I'm talking about the rise and then suppression of the Ku Klux Klan
yeah.
because they have people they call grand wizards.
Hmm.
I'm just checking that when you say he calls himself a wizard, that's not the kind
Yeah.
he means.
Honestly, I don't know if that's the kind he means,
Well, unless
You
he was in
guys
the
are
South
but
7 years
here
ago.
it sounds like
unlikely.
he's more of the wizard like Merlin.
Right.
Yes.
Well, that's my point, is that if he died more than 7 years ago, we can rule that connection out.
Yeah, you think 60, 63, 64
Yeah.
is
So
the
he
impression
died
that you
before.
got.
He died before
I mean,
those
A
groups
little more than a
existed.
decade ago.
I think it's safe to say that yeah, here they're referring to him as more of magic spell casting wizard from fantasy books.
Just like Valrus. That flashes through your head, Loren.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, I really hope he
And
doesn't
is
have
that
this
a
spell.
thing, the Dreamlands?
What, the Ku Klux Klan?
No. Well, I would imagine that would be the Nightmare Land, if there was such a place. Or
Oh my god! I love that
oh
connection
no, I
that
meant
you just made. Is that a thing in
I,
the clan? Is that Are they here? I just
no,
love
I
that.
meant I
Sorry.
meant I
Men
meant
in white
magic.
robes with pointy hoods?
I meant magics. Like, is given that this is a dream, I wouldn't rule it out that a man who calls himself a wizard was in fact such a thing.
Oh, you don't know.
If I knew, I probably wouldn't have asked.
Your dreamer, it would seem that dreamers can literally, for lack of a better word, dream up things. And I'm going to attempt something here.
Okay, what do you want to tell?
Discreetly under the table, I'm going to
Okay.
show my empty hand.
Okay.
And under the table, I'm going to attempt to make another handful of jade.
Okay.
And fail miserably. Can I push it?
That's a point. Um, there's no real reason to. If you just continue concentrating and spend another magic point, it's still going to cost you
Yeah,
more
I'm going to try it
magic.
again. You see him, he's just like,
When you put your hand under the table, incidentally, I actually push my chair back about 6 inches.
He's
you
concentrating.
see
He
him
doesn't
like,
seem to notice. He seems frustrated by
Well,
something.
Mr. Jimenez might notice.
all right,
Yeah, he probably does. He did no.
All
Jimenez
right.
definitely you noticed that.
I'm going
Did
to
you get
try
it?
one last time.
So each is a round, so it's like 3 or 4 seconds. So this only takes like 20 seconds. Did you fail all time?
Yeah, that, like, each time he's changing what he's trying to create.
Okay, yeah.
The
Just
third
some
time,
rocks. Just some. What? The
yeah,
first was
he's
jade. What
going
was the
simpler and
second?
simpler and simpler.
Okay.
Honestly, the third time he's going to just create a piece of silver that roughly resembles a silver dollar.
Okay. But did it
Like,
succeed? Did any of these succeed?
yeah,
Sean?
I got a 15 on the
On
last
the
one, so
third
that's a
one? Okay.
success. That's a succeed. It's not an exact copy, but it definitely looks like someone trying to counterfeit one.
Like yeah, it says United States on it. It's got a
Yeah,
yeah. Okay. So you
United
reach
States
under
of
the table
United States of
and you look
America.
down and you're concentrating for a little while. You don't notice his chair pull back, and then you bring up over the table this
And he's just gonna hold
somewhat
it
familiar
and
coin.
put it down in front of Alonzo.
Okay.
Dreamers can create things. It's difficult at times, but
Well, now that you mention it, I don't remember where I acquired these things.
your clothes.
Yeah. This armor.
When we came out of the tree, we kind of got to choose what we wore.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
we simply.
Honestly, I didn't dress that different from how you're dressed. I chose a tabard like I was a member of the Knights of the Round Table.
well then perhaps that's how it was acquired. I don't recall.
Sorry, I heard the wife stir. But yeah, it's maybe others are better at it than I am. I was trying to create some jade, which I pull some out of pocket. Like I created
Pouch, more
this
likely.
a
Yes.
pouch. Yeah, I created this earlier to
That was like
you
2 weeks ago.
know no, it was like the other day.
No,
Wasn't
it
it?
was like two
No.
weeks ago.
Oh,
No,
shit.
it was a week ago. You guys have been in Zakarion
week
for a
ago.
week doing all this
Yeah,
research, talking to
I
people, and
created
all this
some
stuff.
because I
You
mean
created that right at the
this
beginning.
is like the perfect world. You can just dream up money and buy anything you want.
Hmm.
But the children were hungry when we came to town, and
Yeah, that's right. That was the first day.
I needed something to,
So
That was
man,
before we gave all
dream-
that information at
yeah.
the
Before
arcade.
before we were handed the platinum coins.
Or yes.
So if the man Wilkes is a dreamer, he can conjure up anything that he pleases.
He can conjure, yeah, it would seem, and someone who has the moniker of wizard would make me think that he can pretty much conjure up anything he wants. And I don't want to scare you.
You can't.
I've seen some information on magical spells that can do truly horrific things to the human body. We just encountered somebody who literally dissolved the bones out of a sellsword to escape.
So magics are a thing in this Dreamlands. If a man
we haven't. No, we
dissolves
did
someone's
encounter it
bone,
a bit in reality. They did. Loren
They
did not.
did. Loren was there when Hazard's man had his
Yes.
bone twisted in a knot. Yeah, Hazard saw that wound. It was terrifying.
There's magic in the waking world as well.
I know.
You say that very.
I'll tell you a thing because I think you will not think me mad for saying it.
I have definitely seen some things.
It was the 6th of May, 64. Slightly past 10 o'clock in the evening. We saw what we thought was a tree. And then it moved. And in the upper part of it took two men. One of them screamed. The other lacked the time to do so.
You were attacked by a tree.
I've no idea what the thing was.
Okay.
It moved among trees as if it were one of them. But that was no tree.
Okay, so it appeared to be a tree.
From a distance, yes.
Okay.
But it was a thing. And it moved and it killed.
Well, I too have witnessed some great fanatical things. I don't know if fanatical would be a word you would know or not, but
It's the word he used, whether he used it correctly or not.
Yeah,
he's like, I've heard people say this word, and it sounds intelligent,
which may work for me too. But I not too long ago helped what I thought was, for the most part, native people, but they just wanted to go home, and their home was this rock off the shore, and I'm not sure what they did. We left them alone for some time, and well, once we got them to where they needed to be, we left, and then this rock sank back into the ocean.
There, you saw more than that, Fernando.
Yeah, part of him probably doesn't necessarily want to believe
okay,
what
as long as
he
you remember.
saw,
As long as you remember.
I was looking over some of my notes, and I can't remember what all I.
I mean, if I said such a thing in the waking world, well, no one would judge me at this point in any case.
There
Nor would I
was.
care.
Oh, I see.
I doubt anybody at this
yeah.
table is going to judge you for what you just said.
Yes.
In fact, I say it precisely in the confidence that you will not.
No.
And only in that confidence.
I'm not even going to roll a psychology check.
You believe him.
I believe you are telling the truth that you know.
I have seen.
Well, if you have points in psychology, you'll also almost certainly recognize what we would call PTSD. The constantly roving eyes.
Fuck it, I'm rolling it.
Do you have points in psychology, Sean? You don't have to roll it.
Yes.
That you do have points. Yeah. Oh no, you can have that for free.
I've got. I'm a 61 in psychology.
Yeah. There's no term for PTSD or shell shock at this juncture.
Yeah.
It's just not
diagnosed
right now as anything.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
and
the point is, when I said you can't scare me, I was not joking.
Yeah, but so
there's nothing you as a mortal human being can do that would frighten me worse than what I've already seen. So I wasn't joking. I meant that deadly literally.
I will say you may not want to go to Twinkletown and break any laws.
What is Twinkletown?
My friend Jimenez would agree to that.
Oh my god.
He couldn't get to Twinkletown without a dog, though.
That is true. You'd have to have a dog.
Oh.
You've lost me completely here.
It's a very long story, but I mean,
oh my god.
when you say there's nothing that can scare you, that's a little hard to believe because we have seen some things that we would not expect to scare us.
Now, I say nothing you can do.
Yeah.
There might be things out there worse than what I've already seen.
Oh,
I assure you, if you are in fact a mortal man, there's nothing you can do.
Well, I doubt there's very little.
You broke up, Sean.
Sorry. I would say there's very little that I think I could do.
There may be people out there.
It sounds like you definitely fought during the war. And I can only imagine the gruesomeness that you saw.
It was, yeah.
How old is Shaeder roughly, like in appearance?
Hard to say.
Hard to say. Okay.
Is he graying? Is his hair graying?
Not here.
Okay. Well, how old does he look here?
Here he looks like a fresh 20-something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So around the same age as Hutton.
Yeah, Hutton.
Here he's the knight.
Hutton looks early 20s.
Yeah, his eyes give it away, but the idealized form is this is what he looked like when he first left. This is the hero, or at least what he thought he would be. That's not what he looks like in the real world.
If I may ask, I don't want to
sanity check.
I don't want to put you into an uncomfortable situation, as you have learned much information in the last half hour or so. How old are you in the waking world?
I'll be 38 in next month.
He does not look 38.
Yeah.
No, my dream self looks 20-something. My waking world self looks 60-something.
Yeah.
So
neither of them look like my.
They don't know that yet.
I think my suspicions are correct that you served in the war against the South.
84th New York Volunteers.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
14th Brooklyn Regiment.
I will say I am certain that you saw the worst that humanity can do.
There will be no war like this one ever again.
No, this is the worst that could happen.
No, it's not. We invented things to make this war more awful. I have every confidence that the next war will include things more awful still. until we invent a way to eradicate ourselves completely.
God, was that freaking quote around back then? It wasn't back then.
The
Because
what?
that was like World War II. That quote was
What
like,
quote?
I do not know what the next war will be fought with, but the one after that will be fought with sticks and stones or something like that.
Yeah, that was
That's
it's
later. Yeah.
attributed to Einstein, and it's a reference to the atomic bomb.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea being that we've developed the weapons that World War III will effectively end life on
Yeah.
Earth.
Well, civilization
World
at
War
least.
IV
Yeah.
will be
Civilization, yeah.
not much.
World War IV will be sticks and rocks.
Yeah.
No, but the point is that he's confident that I don't know what will develop for the next war, but given how far technology came in
Has
this war,
already gone.
I'm
Yeah.
confident that more
Yeah.
awful weapons will be deployed in the next one.
Gonna figure out how to make those Gatling guns accurate.
Yeah, for instance,
Was
that
it
if
Einstein?
I had a bet on that, I would assume that the Gatling gun will become a more effective weapon
God, what was that fucking quote from
and will be
Einstein?
made more use of in the next conflict.
But okay. Well,
Because that's how people operate, coming up with new and more effective means of destruction.
I mean, look, it's all for the money. Thus, the Big Willie.
So,
Yeah.
Well, at least I can say, for myself, and I think for Fernando here, you're among friends. It's nice to at least meet another dreamer, someone who has a little bit more understanding of where we come from.
Until I met you two, I didn't know there was anyone else. I assumed this was my dream.
It is odd that it's a shared dream.
Well, if it's a Dreamlands, then you're in one place in the world, I in another.
And I'm not even.
Yeah.
We've been here for.
Say again, Sean. You broke up.
Sorry, we've been here for a couple months.
Almost.
But dreams can be like that.
I mean,
They go forward and backward in time.
I will say I am a bit worried of how long I've been asleep.
Because if that's true, then unless someone aided you in the waking world, it seems you would certainly have perished by this point.
I would hope somebody would. I mean,
well, Hazard's man was supposed to keep watch over us.
Yeah, and
if that's true, then I'm certainly dead.
You would think the widow Dan's work come for the rent.
Okay. Each of you can make me an intelligence check. Jimenez and Hutton, please.
Yeah, I know it is.
If that's true, I'm certainly dead.
I made it. Regular success.
Jimenez, you remember Mr. Rascal told you no matter how long you spend in the Dreamlands, you will awaken the next morning in the waking world. There's no danger of you starving to death or dying.
I know that, but there's also a freaking cat telling me that.
Okay. But I'm just saying because it sounded like you guys forgot, and Mr. Rascal told you, and I believe you.
Yeah, I was about to say something like that.
Okay.
I
mean, it's.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Then.
No, you're fine. We're told we're going to be fine.
So you're certain, no matter how long the dream lasts, it lasts but one night.
Right.
Or perhaps two.
But it is
it really
interesting.
Like just one. But yeah.
The whole thing is, so...
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Loren, with Wilkes.
Our companion, Mr. Hazard, as far as we know, he might be awake now. We lost him.
No, by that thought. I mean, he still may be sleeping. Time is not like time doesn't last as long.
No, but like
or time lasts longer here than what it does back where we're from.
Yeah. It's just it is odd to think that you could live a lifetime here.
You could live a lifetime here every night, it seems.
Well, I'm pretty sure that if you are killed here, you can't come back.
Ah.
So
if you die in the Dreamlands, you don't die in the waking world.
No, I don't think you die in the waking world. Just you are forbidden from coming back here.
So there is danger here.
Oh, there's absolutely danger here. Okay. So we told you about the bandits in the last town that we passed through.
Yes, you did.
One of them just escaped. He's the one who
that was a week ago. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Well, a week is just.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Keep going. Sorry.
He's the one that we believe. Okay. We believe magically removed the bones from a person.
Or dissolve them?
Well, I mean, magically dissolving, magically removing. Kind of the same thing, Fernando.
Is it?
So he killed a man by magic.
Yes.
No. The one guard said he was still alive.
Was that man a dreamer?
Wait, he was alive during all this?
I thought I heard when they carted him off that he was still alive.
Oh my
God.
How do you live through that?
If one man dissolved his bones by magic, perhaps another can regrow them by the same. The one makes as much sense as the other. Or as little.
I honestly did not ask if it was possible to reverse that spell.
No, you haven't asked that yet. You just discovered the spell in that book today. Remember that just happened. Or that you're the man you're working with at the Tower of Wizardry.
So you're looking for this man, this bandit. Or you hope to avoid him for fear of...
I would prefer to avoid him.
Or at the very least, we see him before he sees us.
That would be preferred.
Reasonable. But his grievance with you wasn't personal. He represented someone else. If I recall.
Well,
the whole thing is hazy.
It's become personal. We kind of... I can't say we. I kind of killed half the men he was with.
That was all after they slaughtered an entire town.
Yes, they did kill an entire town. But I did have a direct hand in killing about half of them.
They got what they deserved. They got what they deserved.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing, but oh boy. I'm glad the lights were out when it happened.
So was this man somewhere in Zakarion, do you think?
No, he was up the road.
He killed one of the sellswords that was with us and escaped into the fields to the west. But what I heard was he's coming to kill me. And he wants his dog back.
Oh, no.
Do you have his dog?
Oh, Oyster's upstairs with the children.
The children has his dog.
I mean, Oyster's in the bed with Fern, most likely. I mean, but...
So does he have any way to find him?
We are in possession of the children. We are in possession of the dog.
And this man, do we know his name?
Vanthus.
Valrus.
Valrus, sorry. Why
Valrus,
do I think? Where the
he's
fuck
looking to
is
kill
Fernando?
you and reclaim his dog and perhaps slaughter these two children.
Um, I don't know if he wants to kill the kids, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Right.
He would if he had to.
Yeah, he'll kill anybody to get to probably Fernando and myself. Mostly myself.
Well, they've already done that.
Do you know what he looks like?
I give a description of Valrus.
Valrus. Yes, law. What the hell did he look like?
After all, if this guy wants to kill you, if I see him coming, I want to say something or do something.
Let's see.
Right now, I don't know him from nobody.
Mustache and beard, dark hair. Wait. There should be some more. Here he is. Tall and solid, black hair and beard, mustache, long hair, a gruff voice. Oh, he smells of cinnamon. That was something y'all noticed about him. Uh,
He smells of cinnamon.
yeah, kind of a like the hair, his hairline. It's kind of like that. They could
He
tell
carried a battle axe, but his,
No.
his battle axe had
Clyde.
been
Clyde had the battle.
confiscated.
Clyde had the battle axe.
Oh,
Powers just had a big
Clyde.
had a big knife. He had a big knife.
Okay, all right. I was confusing those two people. All right, now
Yeah.
I understand.
Him and Mike.
And come to think on it, is it possible to conjure up a firearm? Or does the Dreamlands somehow prohibit that?
Oh, we were told
It
only
is limited.
anything that exists technology wise in this time period.
You seem like a pretty learned man. Have you read any books about King Arthur and the Round Table, like medieval Europe?
Mm-hmm. And Ivanhoe, for that matter, twice.
Yeah, modern technology does not exist here.
Although we did just learn of someone inventing a pen here.
Yeah, it's still an ink pen that you need to dip into an inkwell and write with, but it doesn't involve using a feather quill.
That has the city quite disturbed.
Yeah, there's some very upset people because, the people who raise geese are going to lose money. I mean, could they not just make arrows with the goose feathers?
I'm not even going to pretend I understand the economics of dream quills.
It's interesting that this world, or at least this city, is getting upset because somebody created a pen.
Well, the long and short of it then is acquiring the kind of weapon that would be more efficient is not likely to happen.
No, you will not be able to conjure up the Big Willie.
Oh my god!
Okay. I'm sorry. I love that my fucking other character named that weapon.
Yeah, I think it was pretty cool.
I would have settled for a cult.
We're at 10 o'clock. We're after 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Which I need to wrap up here.
Yep.
So, this has been actually great role playing. Really enjoyed it a lot.
No, I really have enjoyed it.
Do you invite him up to the suite?
Yes.
Eventually, after a few more drinks or whatever.
We'll ask the children to share a bed.
They do share a bed. They've been sharing a bed. They and Oyster have been a run room. You each had 2 other rooms, and there is a 4th room up there. Actually,
we have a spare room at this time.
So,
that's fine by me. I've been camping for the last couple of weeks, so sleeping in a bed is.
I'm sure if you would like, we could probably get you a bed. I'm sure we've had one by now.
Yes, you guys have had baths. They bring in a big giant copper tub.
Also a good idea.
And fill it up. And yeah, you guys can request a bath for Shaeder. They basically bring the tub into your room. There's plenty of room. These rooms are huge plush rooms,
We pretty much have the
marble.
whole upstairs of this inn, right?
Hutton
More
would also
so.
ask, is
Not the
like,
whole upstairs, but
um,
this is a huge building, and you have a
Okay.
yeah.
huge room.
Hutton would also ask, like, no offense, the wine is fantastic, but do you have anything stronger?
Who to the one of your waiters or
To
something?
yeah, one of the waiters.
There are some liqueurs and that kind of thing, but not much in the way of like hard liquor.
Okay.
At least not served here.
These
Okay.
people drink for flavor, not to get hammered.
Yeah, this is for
Well-
rich people.
And I mean, what would it be like? A fortified wine, essentially?
There
in
are some
this time
fortified
period?
wines. There are some fortified wines that are stronger.
Okay.
But this particular place does not serve hard liquor.
Okay.
There
Okay.
probably is some harder liquor in the world that
Especially
you
when
all
you-
haven't discovered yet. You know what I mean? I mean, there's been hard liquor around for a long time.
Yeah. I
Gotta go to diethylene for that shit.
well, in 1392, the Irish invented whiskey.
Yeah. So it's been around long enough. So
I
yeah.
would say in the 1600s, tequila had been invented.
Yeah.
So you
It
guys
is
go.
income
You
to
get a bath, Shaeder.
Yep.
It feels great actually. You can shave. There are shaving implements provided if you want it. If you haven't been up to this point, or if you need it, you could probably have inadvertently or unconsciously dreamed your beard and mustache away if you don't have one in the waking world.
No, I actually probably have a razor and shaving kit in my rucksack.
Okay, yeah. It's
Because
just a simple
that
blade
rucksack is
and
the
stuff.
rucksack is basically a campaign bag.
Okay. So yeah, you've been shaving, but they provide soap and that kind of thing.
So
And it's
I've got essentially what I've got in that bag is basically what I took on campaign
okay.
in the
So
Warriors.
You
So it is a razor, a bar of soap, a Bible, a sewing needle and thread,
yeah, anything that you could find
a little tobacco.
several hundred years ago, you could. Um,
Yeah.
you spend a night. It's very comfortable. It's actually it's extremely comfortable bed. You sleep better than you've probably slept, if you can recall. You don't remember really clearly.
And it's
Um,
weird to sleep in a dream.
it is weird to sleep in a dream. But you
And
do.
weird. And
Uh,
this is also probably the first time that I've fallen asleep in years sober.
oh yeah, you only had a little bit of wine with supper and none of the other stuff that you like. So, but you do. You fall asleep. Um, you
And I expect if I look in the rucksack, I will find some tobacco, but nothing of what I really want.
no, definitely not.
It's
Um,
packed like it was
that
then.
you're gonna have to actually. You could try to make up, conjure up some with the dreaming if you ever, if he decides that he can do that at some point. Um, the night passes uneventfully, and the next morning breakfast is brought to you.
Nice.
And the man who brings you breakfast actually, and there's robes and stuff that you can put on if you wish in this place. Pajamas are, night shirts are provided. The man who brings you breakfast says, "Oh, have you heard the news today?
No.
Calorie Frickered. No, that's not his name. Calorie Frickered. Last night was murdered. No.
The
Oh,
man who invented that contraption, the pen?
yes, he was murdered in his home. Oh, I was a great admirer." And then he leaves. He gives you the news and he leaves you with your breakfast to enjoy your breakfast. And that's where we'll end for now for Zakarion. Um, yeah. So one of two things: questions, comments, suggestions. Um, I thought you guys, for me, I thought you guys did a really good job. Good introduction for Alonzo Shaeder and trying to fill him in on a few things and trying to tell him a little more about the Dreamlands. And I enjoyed the role play a lot.
Yeah.
Me too.
So Alonzo, or sorry, Kevin now.
Yep.
Questions, comments, suggestions, or what did you like? What did you dislike about the game session? I know you're only here for about half of it, but
Oh no, this was a lot of fun. This was great to establish the character.
yes,
A lot of info dump, but that's sort of necessary under
Yeah.
the circumstances. So no, it was great. It was great being able to play and great being able to play with you guys.
good.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you enjoyed it.
I agree.
So Fernando, or Frog Dog, Favorite thing,
Yeah.
least favorite thing, or questions or
Um.
comments or things that stood out. Anything, any comment you want to make?
Yeah. No, I would say I just enjoyed the role play. Say
Yeah.
it's always nice getting to meet someone new and but still, trying to learn to adapt or whatever to everyone's play style in a way. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same for you then, Shauna.
I would say definitely for that. I also really like that Valrus
Escaped.
escape.
oh
Like the player, like the character is like, oh
See,
shit.
yeah.
The player is
Look,
like, oh yeah.
Well, every other
Like,
bandit died except for those five no
I mean,
names.
look,
So.
I will say the dungeon master in me is just like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, well, look, a villain that players love to hate is always a
Mhm.
winner.
I love villains.
And he's a great chef too. He makes delicious food.
He makes delicious food that puts you to sleep so he
that
can
puts
kill
you
you.
right out.
Indeed. Well, I did actually make all the
Well,
rolls legitimately for
well,
Valrus against
say,
a average person, and he made those
although
power checks and everything. So he got
it
away.
really
I
only
will-
worked. It only really worked 1/3 of the time, though.
It
Yeah,
did.
whatever. Just because only
I
one
will.
of you
just-
succumbed.
I'm trying to think
No,
of something
a Nid
that
got
I
knocked
didn't.
out too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, so it's 50-50.
I'm trying to think of something I didn't like, and
No, like I really
no,
can't
the
think of
last
anything
few
I
games,
didn't like.
Andy, I've been really enjoying.
Cool. I have too, actually. There was a lot of action last game session, and now this session
It's one of
is-
those things like the dungeon master in me is just like
I
I
guess
really I as long as everybody has a good time,
Yeah, same.
I'm good.
I guess if I had to really nitpick and say anything I didn't like,
Yeah.
I just don't like. I don't like having to deal with these kids right now. My character doesn't know what to do with these kids.
That's true.
Yeah, you guys
can
haven't.
agree to that.
I was like, okay, all this time is passing, and nobody said, "Hey, we need to deal with these kids" during that time. So I was like, all right,
Right.
they're just living there with you. They're hanging out.
Yeah.
Fern is they're playing with Oyster. They're probably exploring the city a little bit with you occasionally, but not very often. Yeah.
Pretty much as long as they're like in the suite by evening or something, Fernando's not going to worry about what they're doing. So,
Okay.
like, I don't know.
Well,
Because, he
Zakarion
really,
Zakarion seems pretty safe. You know what I mean?
yeah,
At least
there
as
are a
far
bunch
as
of
like
it,
as opposed to Twinkletown or the
right.
woods or whatever.
I mean, this place could be a great place for them potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
But
They
Well,
could learn a lot here. That's for sure.
yeah,
finding
of
them a
course,
home there may be a thing
Fernando
worth
doesn't know exactly how like Fern feels about him. So, like, if he just leaves these kids here, is that like him abandoning them all over again? But yeah,
Fern was not real impressed with you leaving her barricaded in a
right.
cellar, so
I understand.
she was a little miffed about that. All right,
Yeah.
so that sounds good. I'm gonna end the stream and stop recording.
Okay.
And
Before you do, by the way,
yeah.
I just looked up one thing that you might be interested to notice.
Okay.
A typical comfort bag kind of thing.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
So my character has probably actually gotten there: pencil, stationery, handkerchief, towel, shaving supplies, matches,
No
match
matches.
case. Those don't make the trip.
No, that's
Likewise,
a little too. There could be some like match cord,
yeah.
like is
So
used
probably
for
that replaces
weaponry
it. Yeah, a
or a
folding knife.
fuse kind of thing.
The watch didn't make it.
No watches.
And then a deck of playing cards and a pocket Bible.
Yeah. The
That's
pocket
typical of that
Bible.
sort.
The pocket
That's typical of
Bible.
that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then of course everything else, including stuff like
I don't know.
blanket, cup, plate, spoon, mess kit, canteen.
Yeah, that can all be
All
in
of
there.
that
That's fine.
was issued. Yeah.
All that stuff could be
So,
in your kit, and that's what you've been living off the land on.
yeah. So that's if the kit emerged the way he imagined it would contain stuff like that.
Yeah. Anything that would fit in an early Renaissance, late medieval period.
Yeah, much
So,
much
like,
of that
the matches-
technology hasn't changed.
It probably flint and steel or flint and
I was
iron
gonna say.
instead of the matches.
Yeah.
Which is like what? but at the same time, your character would know how to use that kind of stuff. I mean, this time
Yeah.
period, people are still pretty familiar, I
Oh yeah.
think, especially in military.
Oh,
Um,
people use that stuff. The point is that Lucifer style matches were more popular by the
oh yeah,
1860s
oh
because
yeah,
they're easier to transport.
definitely. But I don't think there would be anything like that in there. So other than
Yeah.
that, yeah, you could have all that
But other than
stuff.
that stuff, like plague cards have existed since
Oh yeah,
1350, give or take.
yeah. These guys saw these bandits playing cards and
Yep.
rolling dice and stuff when they were in Twinkletown. So yeah, playing cards are definitely a thing.
Yeah, so it's random stuff like that that you
Okay,
take with you when you're going to war.
sounds good.
Uh, and
All
if
right,
it gets really weird, even something like a pre-addressed envelope
probably not. That probably wouldn't have made it. Well,
wasn't sure.
a piece of paper that could be folded. Um,
Right.
Well, yeah,
you
because one of the coolest
Or
things
at
I've
least
seen
with a
from that
wax
era,
seal or something
wax
on
seal
it.
too is potential
yeah,
too.
because one of the coolest things I've seen from that era is they would print envelopes that you
Hmm.
could buy with like a picture on them, and
Okay.
the point was that you mailed them, and you didn't pay postage; the recipient did.
Okay,
So it's for soldiers, so they don't have to carry stamps or coins.
gotcha. All right, well, I'm gonna end the stream. I'm not
Okay,
ending. We're not leaving here, Kevin. I'm just ending the
okay.
stream and stopping the recording. So it's not
Oh,
like
okay. I thought you were.
no, 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 no,
No, no.
no. So we're just
I
saying
want that
goodbye to
part.
the. Oh, nobody's watching. Wait, no, one person's watching. Woo!
Woo! Hi
Okay,
there.
yay. So, thanks for watching. Bye. Everybody say bye.
Bye.